The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Hey, shalom everyone. Shalom. Elder Rawchaa with G.O.C.C. Media on Tuesday nights. How was everybody doing today? Shalom. I just want to know, can everyone hear me clearly? Can everyone hear me clearly? Let me know, can everyone hear me clearly? Just say con. Make sure you hit the like button. Just make sure you hit the like button. Elder 300. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Listen. Y'all, something else. Loud and clear. Shalom, everybody. Shalom, everybody. We have a great show tonight. We have a lot of news to show. You already know. Sipping on my BCAAs because it's hot out here. Still drinking out of this beautiful Judah cup that I was blessed with at the Passover. Still killing water moccasins on the Sabbath. I don't know why the water moccasins want to come on the Sabbath, but I guess they like to have it. You understand? A few weeks ago, water moccasin came on the Sabbath. I'm like, hey, bop. Last Sabbath, another water moccasin came, bop. It's all good. I see how the devil want to go to war. You understand? Let me tell y'all something. Y'all gonna probably laugh about this one. Your elder was actually, you guys remember the lesson that I did about bacteria? Well, I'm creating my food forest outside of my garden, my actual food forest, which is dealing with your orchard and your fruit trees and things like that. Well, I went against the bacteria. And I got a ringworm. I had got a ringworm here because when you're taking a tractor and breaking down the actual wood chips, the wood chips have natural fungus and things in them. So I had a ringworm on this eye. A ringworm came on that eye. I was like, Lord, I hadn't had a ringworm in years. And it's just a spiritual warfare, guys. It's a spiritual warfare. You go against the Jezebels. Now you got a team of Jezebels wanting to come against the whole church. Oh my goodness. It is cute. It's very cute, though. Guess what? It's all good. Satan got to make his moves. Satan has to make his moves. Let me tell you. I hope y'all watching Elder Rawchaa show on Fridays, because he's going in. The alien invasion. Let me tell you, boy, we got eyes to see and ears to hear. We're waking up the blind. They got a problem with that. You understand it? And I'm going to put something out there. If any, Shalom, make sure y'all hit that like. Make sure you hit that like button. If anybody, yeah, so I got to tone this thing up right here. I had to do that thing the old-fashioned way. Get that thing up off of there. We ain't playing them games. I said, oh, you want to go? Satan say you want to go against bacteria? We gonna do bacteria. That's all good. You wanna highlight the Jezebels? Let's go. Let's go. Let me tell you, we got everlasting stamina. all of my elders and officers and deacons and body of Christ is together. We don't need much. We don't need much. It's billions of people. We can go against the billions. The Most High say he don't need a big number. So hey, come on, Cletus. Come on. Hey. Yes, indeed. Let me turn this thing on silent. Shalom, the King Tazawar. He's promoting that this show right now. Yes, we're gonna go into some news, man. I had to come in a little different today, you know. Had to come in a little different today, just relaxing a little bit. So we got a lot to talk about. There's distractions all over the world. There's things going on all over the place. It's like the devil's running over here to start a fire, running over here to start trouble, running over there to start a distraction, all over the place. So make sure y'all hit that like button because we're going to talk about what's going on tonight. And take a few call-ins later if we have some time. I know y'all want the call-ins, but sometimes I'll be like, man, there's so much news I had to drop. By the time we dropped it, it's 12 o'clock at night. I'm just be trying to get it all out to you guys, but we gonna do some call-ins, man. So yeah, yes indeed. So we're gonna start the show out today with one second here. Let me pull up my little situation here as a guide. Distractions all around us. Let me tell you guys, we have so many distractions right now. We have Maui. How many of you guys out there see what's going on in Maui? How could you not? Right? How many of you guys out there see what's going on to our people in Maui? I mean, it's just unfortunate. The devil has come down with a lot of wrath. The devil has come down with a lot of wrath, man. It's really sad. You be thinking about traveling over here, do it over here. And he's like, hold up. And then when you do travel, that's what's going on over there. I promise you I was talking about Hawaii not too long ago. I said, good Lord, I stayed my butt over here. And not that it's about fear, but the crazy part about it was, I said, man, I think I'm going to take a trip over there. But something stayed in the back of my mind every time I said it. I said, it be that when my black tail take a trip over there, a dang volcano or something go off. And before you know it, there you go. I'm good on it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm good on it. Why? Because they're trying to make that place now the first smart island. They can keep all them demonic gods over there. And unfortunately, our people over there need to come back to Rawchaa, the nation and the tribe of Naphtali in Hawaii need to come back to Rawchaa. We know the Asians went over there long ago and took over that place. Now you have the elite going over there and allegedly buying up all of this land. We're going to talk about it tonight. And some of the locals, alleged rumors that some of the locals didn't want to give their land up. I'm just going to say it like that. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I tell you what, it's something going on. It's something going on. Let me tell you, they say Oprah's plane. Y'all know he already going in. They say Oprah's plane was on Epstein's Island 11 times. I didn't say it. This is what's out there for anybody to go and look at. They say that Oprah's plane was 11 times on Epstein Island. Okay? And unfortunately, these little twin guys, who's seen these little twin guys? The little twin guys, I'm an island boy. I can't say it how they say it. What's some guys from Florida? I'm an island boy. I had no clue who these cats were, who they were. The twin little guys with the tattoos all over their face. You know how the new rappers do it. They got the little cross. You understand. But I'm like, how did they get the name Island Boys? Well, come to find out, there's a picture, you understand, with them on Epstein Island. With Mr. Epstein. When they were little. And unfortunately, these guys are doing all type of incest to each other, these twins. So unfortunately, it's a real sad thing that someone would take advantage of a child, because the scripture says, you know, it's not even funny, it's crazy. Raise up a child in the way that he should go, and when he becomes older, he shall not depart from it. So it's very sad to me. It's very, very sad to me. So these guys straight demolishing each other on the internet. I'm like, good Lord of mine. Let me wipe this camera off a little bit. I feel like, 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Make sure that thing is nice and clear. Ooh, yes, indeed. That looks way better. Okay. So, yeah, these guys were straight kissing and making out online. I thought it was the weirdest thing. And we wonder why the Most High told us not to come close to, you know, family in that type of way. It's husband and wife. Very simple. Not brother and sister and uncle. Let me tell you. No. So unfortunately, they were on Epstein's Island taking a picture. That's all I'm going to say. We as Hebrews, we know, but we have to put it out there for people who's coming on this and saying, you know what? I never thought about it like that. That's how they got the name Island Boys. They were having fun on the island. All types of fun. And how is Oprah's name keep coming up? I'm like, how is Oprah's name keep coming up? That's the thing that I don't understand. How does Oprah's name keep coming up? We want to, 1 second here. 1 second. We're going to go into Matthew 24. Shalom, everybody. Shalom. Make sure you hit that like button. I was out there in this heat today. Oh, don't play me like that. 1 second, y'all. Don't do me like that. 1 second. I want this. There's an app that I got on here now. There's this Bible app that I have on here now that I'm trying to fix it. And I'm hoping I don't have to restart this thing. Now that sucks. That just sucks. Sorry about that, guys. I got this new app that AC just installed for me, but now it wants to act a little crazy. I tell you what, boy. It wants to act crazy today. I'm not going to restart the show because of it. So we will just move on. I'll have it ready next time. It's probably just me restarting this program, but I don't want to restart the whole show. Sometimes this program does that. So we will continue. We will continue. Let us go into our 1 second here. Let me see if it'll pick this thing back up. Just give me 1 second, please. We were just working real nice. I don't like that at all. I tell you, I don't like that at all. Anyway, all right, let's go. Let's go with what we have. Let's go with what we have. Let me pull up Matthew 24 for you guys. Y'all know Matthew 24. We read it last week. We read it last week. Give me 1 second. All right. Got Matthew 24, and let us start at verse 4. I'm starting at verse 4 for a reason. Actually, verse 3. As he sat upon them. You know what? We're going to start at verse 1. Forget it. Let's start at verse 1. Matthew 24. Let's just take it from the top. Sorry, Elder Dale. Shalom. I'm looking at it, and then things just coming to my mind right away. It's like, you know what? Nah. Start right there. And Yeshaya went out. For those of you who are new on here, if we have any Christians that come on, when we say the word Yeshaya, it just means my Savior. Yeshua means Savior, and Yeshaya means my Savior. If you want to know why we're not saying Jesus, it's the same person, okay? He came to save his people. So we have to put that out there for the new people sometimes, okay? Because we're not only just talking to the Hebrews, all right? And Yeshaya said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there should not be one left. There should not be left, here one stone upon another that should not be thrown down. And you know what I find crazy is that Babylon, the daughter of Babylon itself, and a lot of the places that we are in captivity, it's nothing new under the sun that a lot of these places will be laid desolate. It tells you in Revelations that no man shall be here eventually. So eventually all of our nice little houses that we have, our HOA houses and all of these, let me tell you, all of this stuff will eventually be trodden down. Just like he was saying about, when they were asking about the buildings of the temple. All of these things shall be trodden down, guys. So it's rumors of Russia and China. Actually, it was on the news that they were on the, did they say Alaska border or something like that? It's all, let me tell you, everything's slowly just moving in. Digital currency. CBDCs. You understand? So cryptocurrency, you know, you can make money off of it. But I'm here to say this. It's not going to be there forever. It's not. It's not going to be there forever. That's what I'm saying. It's just nothing but a quick grab, because everything is dealing with blockchain to where it eventually is going to transition us. That's the whole goal. Transition us into the mark of the beast. This thing is moving fast, guys. We have to be prepared. This is a serious thing here. Okay, we are here. We are here. And it's almost like they're trying to find what time they want to do and push the reset button. I don't know if you guys can see it. They're talking about making this, after this so-called hurricane that happened in Maui, the so-called fire, the first smart island. We're here, guys. So yeah, you might be able to get a little of your crypto out. You understand, and do what you need to do really quick. It's all good. Smart investors are smart. They know when to get out, and then put it into something tangible. Right? Because before you know it, they're like, hey, we can't give you your crypto because we need you to take this or this. Right? So that's where this thing is going. So all of these things that we see will be torn down, and Most High willing, he will allow us to escape, or he will rescue us, or we will get on the plane with our passports, whatever, however, which way, we don't know. We're just preparing the best we can. The Most High will see us forth to the wilderness. I look outside every night and I see the angels. And you know, I'm not a novice, okay? So when I say I see the angels, sometimes you guys are seeing angels that are demons. And I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm not here to tell you wrong and all that, but I'm just keeping it real. Sometimes you guys are actually seeing angels that are actual demons out there. You have to know the difference between the ones that, I always talk about it, the ones that you'll see just one in the sky. And 1 will turn into 3. It will come back together. 3 will turn into 6. That's why the scripture says, Legion, we are many. They are going up to the sky to listen to the tablets of the Most High. And they get weak. It talks about in the Testament of Solomon. They get weak and then they fall. That's why you see the shooting of them. The shooting stars. There's a difference from a fallen angel and a shooting star. It's not the same thing. The shooting star is just a demon. It's the thing when you turn on your computers, if you have a Windows computer and you see the windows separating and coming together and all that, those are demons. Okay, but the cherub, you have to verify these cherub and other angels through scripture, like what Elder Rawchaa was showing on his show. So sometimes you looking out there, don't be deceived. Higher, that ain't a higher. That's something that's higher than you, but it ain't a higher. You got to be careful, you know what I mean, looking out into the sky if you don't know what you're looking at. And it's all good. I mean, everybody's not going to get everything right. But Elder Rawchaa showed that thing on his show the other time with the telescope. And I seen exactly what the scriptures talked about, because me and him talk about it behind the scenes. I seen exactly, because their faces turn from a calf to a lion to a man's face, the cherubim, riding on that wheel, within the wheel. It showed a body and a head and another person like that behind it. It was crazy when Elder Rawchaa showed it on his show. You got to watch his show on Friday nights. He be dropping it. And I said, Elder, did you look at that? I said, you pause that video. I want you to look at that. You don't see a body with an arm and a leg. Like, you can literally see it. When you look out there, even to the sitting stars that are just watching, you can actually see their different wheels. They have so many different styles of angels out there. Let me tell you, with different ranks. It's amazing. Okay, so why did I talk about angels? Because I know I'm seeing the angels every night on my land, because obviously I live in a place where it's not in the city. You can see these things clear. I see them in the city too, and a lot of people, is that a plane? Is that a helicopter? No, you can hear the helicopter. No, you can hear the plane. You can hear them. You can't hear these. And I was out there with the other night with Officer Yatab, and it was me, him, okay, and my stepson Moses, and we were looking in the sky, and we were talking about this one bright star, and we were like, the Most High, you know what I mean? Look at all these angels. We know we're gonna be good. They literally here. We're literally seeing them, and it's almost like this one bright one that's brighter than everything else. I was getting ready to pull my phone out, because I have so many videos of them. It's just so normal now. It was so bright, it looks like the North Star, but sometimes it moves. And I was telling them, I'm like, look, guys, this one out here moves. And they was like, yeah, I think it does. Yeah, I think. Guys, when we said that, when we started talking about it, it's brighter than the rest of all of the stars. It started to move. And I'm talking about move where you can see it move. And we were tripping. We were tripping out because we were just talking about it and it was just staying still. So it starts to move slowly. Guys, it does some of the weirdest things. Okay. And then what it does, it morphs into the normal cherubim. It morphed into the normal cherubim ship instead of just looking like a bright star. And then it started blinking its little lights that Ezekiel was talking about. We were tripping out. We sat there and saw it. We were just like, so we looking at each other, all three, like no one, like we all saw that. You understand? So it's almost like the angel knew that we were talking about it or saw it, and it just did what it needed to do. It was totally amazing. I would let them tell their own version of the story, but we all seen it together. But it's so many times that we see that. So why am I saying that? Because as we go into these things, we have to have confidence that what we read is not just a fairy tale story. It's the real deal. When they came down and visited Abraham before they destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, they are there watching. We may not be able to see them clearly, but they are there. Okay? So let us keep that in mind. Don't worry. I'm just saying, don't worry. With all these distractions going on, we don't have to worry. We just need to stay in line with the Father. All right? So let's go back into Matthew 24, verse 2. And Yeshua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us when these things shall be. So, okay, we hear what you're saying. So when will these things happen? And what shall be the sign of your coming and the end of the world? Okay. And Yeshua answered them and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. So he wasn't only speaking to the disciples, he was really speaking manifold to the people who would be coming in our times, because Christ had a recording as he was saying all of these things. No different than today. You have your publicists, you understand, you have your PR. Back in the days, you had somebody with Christ going around writing down everything. The gospel wasn't available. They were walking the gospel. They were talking the gospel, right? So when he was saying these things, he knew he came down here to do two things. To do what he needed to fulfill, according to the prophets while he was walking. And he knew that it was going to be a nation after he passed on and his disciples did their part, who would need these scriptures. Okay? So he's saying here, take heed that no man deceive you. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Elon Musk is deceiving many people right now. A lot of people are being deceived because we've grown up in this capitalistic society where everyone's capitalizing on everything. Yeah, taking advantage. It's our job to take advantage in this society. That's what kind of life we live here, but not of people, but of your opportunity. That's just how we live in America. Okay, but the elite take advantage on a whole nother level. You see, everyone's thinking he's cool because he's in all of these interviews. You see, because he's the richest. That they give these people these titles, the richest man in the world and all of this stuff. He comes out with his Elon Musk, right? Y'all something else. He comes out with this technology. And guess what? We can use the technology. Paul said, use the word, but don't abuse it. So he comes out with this Starlink internet. He's coming out with these no, please don't call me while I'm on the show. I have no clue what this is, but he's coming out with his Tesla car. Let me tell you, this Tesla car already online is killing many people. I'm not telling you it's against the law for you to drive a Tesla, but what I'm showing you is, I know some of you have stepped in some of these new Benzes and Jags and all of these things, and you know that you can't hide when you have these new cars. You can't hide. As soon as you hop in your car, it's telling you how to get home, straight out. And you like, hold up, I didn't ask you that. It's telling you how to get home. There's traffic over here. Take this route. You cannot hide from the beast. The only thing protecting us right now, guys, is the Holy Spirit. I'm just telling y'all right now, we need the Most High to make it through this. It's not an AK-47 or AR-15 that can save you. Ultimately, I'm saying, through this thing. When we fought Amalek in the wilderness, guys, they came with conjurers. They came with witches and warlocks to help them fight the battle. They never fought just physically. So when we think that this thing is just about physically, like what we watched last week with this Montgomery, Alabama thing, let me tell you, we are sadly mistaken. And we can get down like that. It's time for that. But let me tell you, that's not what we should be hoping for. A real warrior is not fighting physically every day. Not in the battle of Christ. He's fighting spiritually. That's why he's telling you to put your armor on. Because you're not fist fighting people every day unless you're a pro fighter. But even if you're a pro fighter, you can't fight the elite as a pro fighter. You're fighting in their arenas. You're fighting in their arenas. Should you learn how to protect yourself? Duh. Duh. Should you learn how to weaponize yourself, protect your family? Of course. Who wouldn't? But understand the difference. You cannot fight spiritual wickedness in high places physically. So an Instagram post of you looking hard doing these things is nothing. You have to learn there's a time for everything. And that how these elite can go and do what they want to do to who they want to do, when, where, and how they want to do it. Because these people are lukewarm and not worshiping God. Just like when we were in the world, he was allowing these things to happen to us until he had a cover on us to a certain degree, but he would let us continue to bump our heads until we found our way to him truly. And it was a choice to get here. The more you delve into wickedness, you will continue to be blind. Hit the like button. The more you join wickedness, the more you would be blind. And the further away, it's almost like you turn your back, walk away. The more you walk away, the further that the Most High can protect you. The further you can see the Most High. 1 Corinthians 15 and 33. Evil communication corrupts basically good morals. Okay? So, Elon Musk is deceiving us. I digress on that, but he's deceiving us. His cool cars, him being rich, but he is going to be one of the people that Revelation 13 talks about with the miracles. With the miracles. Deceiving people, healing people who've taken the juice. And even if they haven't taken it. If you take this, we can heal this. Science has sign we can do this. Which one of your, people's grandparents and all these strangers out there is not going to go and say, hey, I've been dealing with this all of my life. This must be from God. This is what Christ was doing. Let no man deceive you. I can see people who are dealing with ailments and people who have been telling them, hey, start drinking clean water, start eating better. Most people will say, yeah, I should eat better, and don't do it. Most people are this way. That's just the truth about it. Yeah, I know I should be eating better. Yeah, I know I should be doing this and doing that. And they don't do it. That's the reality of it. Most people will even buy supplements. That supplement in a drawer. Most people will dang on get supplements and put it on repeat. And then they haven't been taking the supplements, and they found out they got motivated, and then they demotivated themselves. They lack discipline for themselves. Right? So they want the quick fix. And guess who can always give you the quick fix? The devil. It's hard being disciplined. I'm not going to lie. Even to those who are disciplined, it took work for them to get there. And they only want to surround themselves by people who are like them, disciplined, because anybody, like Kobe Bryant says, if you come over here down and sad, I don't want you around me. If you're lazy, I don't want you around me. You're going to demotivate me. That's the same way I am. I don't want anybody depressed around me or hear sad stories. No one came to rescue me when I was sleeping in my car, when I was crying in the cold, when I didn't have a blanket. And I realized God didn't send no angels down to rescue me. I had to fix that myself, because that means he knew that I was stronger. He knew that I was stronger. So that's why he didn't come down and just rescue us out of every situation, because he knows we're strong. And we're going to need that same perseverance to make it through this time. If we did it in the world, we must show the Most High we can do it through him and depend on him. We did it because we knew we had to survive physically. We stole, we did all types of evil things, sold drugs to try to make it through Satan's kingdom. What are we going to do to endure to the end for Christ's kingdom? Because it's a lot of distractions that's going on that one can run into and get caught in the web emotionally. People are sitting here arguing about Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. None of these two people are paying your bills. So I get it. Like, hey, it's nothing wrong with, hey, check us. Man, this is interesting. But never let it get that deep to where you're being distracted, where you're arguing over who's better out of Kobe and Shaq. Are you freaking kidding me right now? It doesn't even matter. Shaq is paying his family's bills, and Kobe was paying his family's bills. Brett made a brother rest in peace. But we come up with these crazy arguments that are straight vanity. The Bible tells us about these things too. And another thing we need to stop doing is, I'm gonna show you in a second. Wasting time. Another thing we need to stop doing is waste. I'm going to show you something, because this thing, let me tell you, if you think all of this stuff is going on for no reason, they're pushing to get out into the heavens to fight against our God. And obviously he said, when you make your nest among the stars, then shall I bring thee down, said the Lord. It's going to be a war in heaven, guys. And Michael's going to kick his butt and send him back down here again. Okay? So prepare, because let me tell you, it's a lot that has to happen before we get in the kingdom. Okay, 1 second. I got to get this, so when I'm done with that. One moment here. I got it. I got me some tea there too, so don't worry. I'm grunting. Yes, I am, but it's all good. All right, let's continue. Take heed that no man like Elon Musk deceives you. Take heed that no person like Bill Gates deceive you, whose father was involved with Planned Parenthood like Margaret Sanger's. This is information that's out there. We have to educate ourselves and the people we love, and then hopefully they deal with it. If not, keep moving. Keep loving them as long as you can love them. That's all you can do. Verse 5 says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I'm Christ, and shall deceive many. It's not just saying there's going to be churches that are doing this, that there's going to be pastors that are going to be doing this. It's the people who you talk to every day. Oh yeah, I love God. Oh yeah, you too? They saying you too, but you the one actually walking it. They pray sometime, and then after that prayer, oh yeah, I'm gonna meet you tonight at 7 o'clock. My husband, he on vacation right now. Right? These are the people that Vision of Paul said they was burning in the lake of fire. The lukewarm people. If you ever had the question about where the lukewarm people's going, if they don't repent before the time is done. All right. Many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. I'm Christian. I follow Christ too. We all have the same God. Really? Really? And they sitting there eating abominations in your face. Curse, using bad language to a storm. And shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. Why is Iran doing business with Africa now? Making connections with Africa. Elder Rawchaa told us years ago that Africa is the last battleground. Christ talked about it. Ezra's talked about it. Daniel talked about it. You shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass. Don't get worried. When they say it's a cold out there, don't get worried, he said. This is what Christ is saying right here. He said, don't worry. See that you be not troubled means don't worry. Don't worry of all of these distractions. They have to happen. The elite is trying to take out everybody that they can that's not marked by the Most High. And they have the power from the Most High, and he's allowing them to do it. And I know sometimes we don't remember this, but he's marked men. Not only has he marked those men, our sisters need to stop arguing with their husbands. And our husbands need to do what they need to do for their families the best that they can. Because you're getting in heaven through your husband. And every woman is getting through heaven through a man, through their elder, through whoever's over you in that household. If you don't have a leader over you in your house, then you're under that that elder. That's the only way you get in. Every woman is going to get through a man. So when they promote this feminism thing, guys, when they say I don't need a man, are you kidding me? You actually need a man to guide you into the kingdom of heaven. That's the scriptures. It's impossible for you to get in without a man. That's just the reality of it. You have to follow a man to get through. It's no way you can even walk into heaven without a man. So don't let no man deceive you. Whether he's a transitioned man or whoever, what they calling themselves out here. Let no man or woman deceive you out here. It's okay. Righteous women don't take up for Jezebels. We don't do that. If you're righteous already, we don't need to hear anyone else calling in the show taking up for Jezebels, because we're not speaking against righteous women. We can't call a Jezebel a queen. She's not a queen. So what? We can't call a thug a king. We can tell him he comes from kings and that he really is a king and he should change his ways. But we're not going to walk around calling people something they're not. They have to earn that right. To whom much is given, much is required. We were out there and we were not kings and queens before. That's our history. But we had to, let me tell you, the Most High said, listen, you got to prove that to me. Because all Israel is not Israel. So when you hear people trying to bring all Israel together, listen, we will not be united in Satan. We will not be united in Satan. Don't let nobody call you on those Zoom calls and try to, let me tell you, we hear it all. We need all the camps to get involved to bring everybody together. I thought you had it together. If you know the Bible, you know that that's not going to happen. There's rebels that's going to be called in the wilderness, and there's righteous people, and the line will be drawn again. It's just as simple as that. Let's just do the work that the Most High called us to do, and we'll figure out. We don't care about who's right and who's wrong. Let's just do the work of Christ. We don't have to call each other out. Let me tell you, do your work where you are. We do our work where we are, and let us leave it be. We don't have to have. That's the real grown-ups. That's how a grown man rolls. Paul and Barnabas, they didn't agree in everything. He went to go do his thing over there and still did the work. And they did not gossip against one another and try to expose, and you know what I mean? They just did the work. That's what men of God do. So if any simpletons get caught up and deceived in heresy, you're on your own. You're on your own. There's going to be new people. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. There's going to be people to fill those seats. And that's the people we're looking for. We're not praying for the world. We're praying for those who are supposed to be filling these seats. And those who are already marked, and we don't know who they are. We're trying to find those marked who are part of that prophecy. The 144,000 in those tribes. So we don't get caught up in all of these distractions that are going on. Let's go back to Matthew 24. Right? And you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. Where do we hear of wars and rumors of wars, guys? Hit the like button. Where do we hear of wars and rumors of wars? On the news media. On the news media. Christ told us, don't get scared. Oh, Russia just shot some stuff over here. Oh, my goodness. You know, Iran just shot some stuff over here. Let me tell you, you're going to know when it started. You're going to know when it started. You're going to know. It's going to shake the whole earth, meaning you will know on how this country positions themselves. You'll know. You knew when 9/11 happened. Regardless of how it happened and all that, you felt when it happened. George Bush was reading that book upside down, backwards. Great acting, Mr. Bush. Great acting. But you still felt it, even with all that. Even with him doing the great acting, we should have put him in a great movie. Let me tell you, you felt it. The whole earth stopped, no different than what just happened in 2020. You will know. But even with that, Christ is telling you, be not troubled. Don't worry. For better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it. That's what the Bible says. You have elders guiding you. If you lead yourself through emotion, you're going to get taken. Stay in preparation. Be as pilgrims on the earth. If they persecute you in one place, flee to the next. Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So when you hear people getting all scared, oh my goodness, let me tell you, I don't care about Russia shooting nothing. That's not the Bible. I don't care. I'm only looking at what's in these scriptures here. I've been on the other side of the world when we were in the midst of the actual Arab Spring. It was scary, but guess what? You got to hold it down like a G. We seen a lot of people running who was so-called claiming hard. It be some of the biggest people too. I'll be cracking up. I'll be like, goodness gracious. Your mama had a 6 foot whatever baby, 250, almost 300 pounds, squealing like a rat. I've seen it all. You coming in here, hit that like button. Get your mind right. See? For nation shall rise against nation, verse 7, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines. We're seeing famines right now. It shall be pestilence. We're seeing all of this. Okay? Earthquakes in diverse places. We've seen the fishes die. We've seen the locusts overseas. We've seen the earthquakes. We've seen the volcanoes. All of these are the beginning of sorrows. Why? Because it talked about it in, I think, 2nd Baruch. That all of these things would happen at the same time. All of these things would happen at the same time. This is what Christ is saying here in verse 7. The same thing. The scriptures are together. He said you're going to have all of these things happening at one time, to where the scripture said they shall try to wear out the saints of the Most High. They're wearing us out. Let me tell you, I'm watching the chemtrails in the sky. The weather modification with this aluminum, barium, and strontium that they put in the sky as poison. The famines, the anger, the lack of love, the human trafficking, right? the lack of morality and overindulgence and promiscuity. Let me get some of this tea here. Oh, yes. Right? That's what's going on. Let me tell you. You got Megan Thee Stallion on stage, and you got let me tell you, the evil woman is taking up for Megan Thee Stallion. No man should shoot a woman in the foot. You wasn't there to know what happened. You wasn't there to know what happened. And if he did it, he's wrong. And we need to also call that sister wrong for shaking her tail feather all over the stage, teaching our young sisters and women wrong and representing us wrong. She's wrong too. They're both wrong. I don't get this thing where just because it's a woman, he's all the way wrong, but she's just totally as if she's some virgin or something. No, she's not. She's showing you everybody can have it like a dog, whether she says it or not. You shall know them by their fruits. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquake in diverse places. All these are beginning of sorrows, because of what they shall do politically and socially. You got to stay 6 feet back. Now you got people depressed because they're in the house all day. Christ put it out there. Hit that like button. If you're coming in, hit that like button. Wrong is wrong and right is right. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. There you go. Verse 9. They shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. They're going to start delivering people up because they don't go along with what they're putting out there socially. Huh? Yeah. They're gonna be delivering people up for these things. Freedom of speech is let me tell you, every day we have less and less freedom of speech. to where we have to use certain you understand, stealth language just to get the gospel by nowadays. Huh? Verse so when you speak against the rainbow gang, ye shall be hated of all nations for his name's sake, for speaking up against it. And then many shall be offended and shall betray one another, because they're pressing a button in these people who've taken the juice. And we're going to prove it. Elder has already proved it if you watch his Patreon. Make sure you get on that Patreon. They drop things on there we can't drop on here. There's videos I want to show on here. I tell you right now, but I can't show some of them. I was like, I can't even show that. Were they telling people they didn't force anybody to take the juice? Huh? And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Why? Because the dividing line is here, baby. The dividing line is here. People see you walking and not want to do anything. They already indirectly feel like, by default, they feel like you think you're better than them. Your life is better than them. It's like, how are they happy and I have more than them? How are they happy and we're going through all of this and they're still happy? Because our God takes care of us. We keep a smile on our face and we're thankful and we're content. Sometimes me and my family would sit back and watch some of these other cultures, maybe not what they do when they worship their God, but how they have a little house. They got a little clay stove, they're cooking, and you know, they don't have a blender. They have the old mortar and pestle that we had when we left Egypt. And I'm not going to lie to you, it just brings you, you know how Esau said, it just brings you back to nature. Now, well, we ain't going to say all that, but it just brings you back of how our forefathers were very appreciative. I seen this East Indian lady. She was grinding up some rice. It took about a week to make this thing. I was tripping, but my wife was laughing like, "Man, I like you, sis," but my husband would get mad by then because it took you a week to make this bread, because you had to let it sit to ferment and you know, and then you break it down again. But they knew how to do all of these things. They knew how to make it happen. I mean, and it's just so peaceful. Let me tell you, it was leaking. It was leaking in a little hut type of house, and their house was nice and clean. It started raining. It's some leaks. They put a little bowl down for the leak, and she said it's leaking in the house. And he said, "Oh yeah, we'll fix it in March." I was cracking up. Let me tell you, they was chilling. And it's like, boy, we complain about little things, but these people is making it happen. He was feeding his cow. He had planted some type of grain or a special probably type of grass, or you know, probably full of protein that he can feed his milking cow. Got his milk. She making butter. She doing all of these things. If we can get back to these things before they shut it down, we're gonna be prepared for the wilderness, and we'll be prepared to make it through these times. So it's almost like you have this life, they shut the lights off, you know how to jump straight into this life with no problem. I mean, the Most High, when it's terribly hot outside, look what happens when you just go under the trees. If you have enough trees with shade, you feel like you're just in a total different climate now. Right? So when people are betraying one another, hating one another, going through all of these things, let us not be deceived that our God won't be there for us. Let us not allow them to breathe their fear in us. That's what I want to say. They're going to try to use their fear. They will. Their alien invasion. They beat and shot a whole real bomb or something with the real military and telling you they came from the aliens. But that was straight blue beam. There's no aliens. These are fallen angels out there. And demons. Huh? They telling you we've always had contact with the aliens. No, you've always had contact with the fallen angels, because Enoch tells you that they were the ones who were teaching the people all of these things, all of this evil. Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and deceive many. All of the false prophets are not people who deal with Bibles. Elon Musk is a false prophet. He doesn't stand for truth. He doesn't stand for, I wouldn't be surprised this dude was a straight robot or something, clone, whatever they got. one of their puppets. He tries to get into social networks and social media to make the young nations today, the young generations today, cling to him. Huh? And Bill Gates, good Lord, let me tell you, it's just total laughter. What happened to Fauci? What? Let me tell you, this demon, he just left the scene. Where's this elf at? He'll be back. Oh yeah, guys, I took a break. It was so stressful. You know what I mean. The juice, the laws went back regular, and I just needed a vacation. And then this dude just popped back up on the scene, and then everybody, simple as a day is old, is just terrified again. I can see it now. Many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. So don't always look at a false prophet just a person teaching the Bible. People who are wolves in sheep clothing, politically or and otherwise. Charles Schwab. For when they shall say peace, then comes sudden destruction. Huh? That we should not be rescued out if we're not on the side of the Most High. And because, verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Iniquity shall abound. Iniquity is here, and it's not going anywhere. So the love of many is waxing cold, because that's all that's promoted. You have to have a body to be real. You have to catch a body to be real. That's what they teach in the young generation. Let me tell you, the young generation accepts the rainbow gang. And they looking at you like, what you gonna do about it? They're ready to put their lives on the line for sin. I mean, that's how wicked the world has become. They see what us black folk and us Indian folk and Hispanic folk have went through. And our own people now, they got them as reversal weapons against their own people. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. What are we doing to endure? Let us make sure that we are doing what we need to do to endure, guys. Don't be deceived at all the distractions. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then the end shall come. So what is that telling us? We cannot be distracted. We cannot move through fear. We must keep doing the work. If they persecute us in one city, flee to the next, like Paul did, shipwrecked, stoned, whatever. Keep doing the work. But the end is already coming because we have already been doing this. The end is in phases, guys. Let me tell you, we've already revealed the sons of perdition long ago. The more we do it, as you can, even celebrities doing it, it's bringing the end. The more we do it, the more we take the lid off of the top, because it's kind of hot. The lid it's kind of hot to where you don't got a you don't actually have what's the little handle on there. You know how sometimes the pot gets so hot the screw comes off. So now you got to get a fork or something else to lift the pot up. So we slowly lifting the top all the way off. And once it's off, you know what happens sometimes when it's off? It just falls into do. And you hope you don't get splashed. But let me tell you, that's how it's going to be when we blow this top off. We constantly bringing the end. The end is in stages. It's telling you right now. So when people get all scared, it's like, do you not know this prophecy haven't happened yet? What are you all scared about? Adapt. Find what you need to do to adapt. Get with those in like mind. Let's build. Let's endure. Okay. 15. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. That's manifold. Stay doing what the Most High told you to do. That's the first way to be in the holy place. That's the first way to flee Babylon. Spiritually. So when it's time for him to take you to that holy place, you will make it there. And you will make it there if it's meant for you, because he's even going to take the rebels out. He said, I shall take the rebels out from among you and bring them into the wilderness too. So if he's going to take the rebels, he's definitely going to take the righteous, unless it was just meant for you to go into the bosom. But there's prophecy of a lot of people being in the wilderness. So don't fear. Don't worry about death. Don't let them use that against you. Well, my mama said we should, we got to do this because, no. They're telling you now they didn't force anybody to take any juice, any Jim Jones juice. You got to get you some of this Judah juice, though, but you know what I'm talking about. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Are we in Judea right now? This was talking about 70 AD. But we are the Judeans. Those who are in the ghettos, if they persecute you in the ghettos, pay attention to the times of the signs. Pay attention to where it's most of us. And flee into safer areas. That's how you can bring it up to modern day. But don't wait till the last minute. Because if they do these disasters like what just happened in Maui, they know that you can't go anywhere but a refugee camp. And hopefully they don't fly your tail to Epstein Island. Because we still cannot find some people during the Hurricane Katrina. We still can't find. Families were separated. And they cannot find some of these people. And there's a lot of stories we can't even put out on here that happened. I'm serious. They know you have nowhere to go but the refugee camps. People, let me tell you, I was so sad for people because people was like, I can't find my son, my daughter. I haven't seen her, I haven't heard from her. It's people from New Orleans that live in the Bay Area now, Utah, all over America after that happened. And they were calling them refugees. Don't forget. Who was in the refugee or the shelter in Maui? Miss Oprah. Miss Oprah. We're going to show some of it today. Verse 17. Then let him which is in a housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. It's going to have a time you got to have that bug out bag ready. Should have it ready now. Let's get it. Let's look into it and see, do we need to better it or whatever the case may be. Okay? Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes, because it's too late. The invasion have occurred. The Romans are here. You may not have that much time. And woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Those who are stuck in and then did not prepare. And to those who did not pay attention to the times and say, hey, we probably shouldn't bring a baby in here right now. It's going to be a little rough. Because if you're trying to hide and the baby is crying, so pay attention to the times. Who's thinking about, you understand, get some love when bombs is dropping? Are you kidding me? People is afraid out of their mind that they're going to make it alive. Don't put that on that sister like that. That ain't right. So pay attention to the signs that are coming. And if you decide what your family is good, it's good. Pray on it. Be with your family on it. But if you decide that, hey, you know what, God, pay attention to the time. That's all I'm saying. There's no law. But some people obviously are going to have babies in that time. It's just going to be hard. That's what it's saying here. Verse 20. But pray that your flight be not in the wintertime, neither on the Sabbath day. Very hard to travel in the winter. Things are shut down here. Planes can't fly. If military is out, they're trained to be in the winter. You're not. Neither on the Sabbath day, where the enemy likes to attack. Huh? Why I keep seeing these serpents trying to attack. Somebody say, oh, that's a physical serpent. Let me tell you. I've been doing this a long time. I know these signs where the devil is mad at me. He would try to show certain things. Even if I ain't doing nothing wrong, he would try to show certain things. But the Most High puts all my enemies in my footstool. He always has. And I'm running up to your face. I want you to smell my cologne. I don't mind being close. See? That machete and that lawnmower trimmer did something good to that moccasin. He looked like a little fish now. Fed him to the ants. You got some people on here telling how you kill snakes. You gotta do this with the head. Trust me, I know how to take something out. You don't have to worry about Elder. Thank you for those notes though. My name is Rawchaa Gabar. The Gabar means warrior. And the spirit gave Elder Rawchaa that name to give to me. Let me tell you, I've been fighting people 1 against 6 since I was a kid. My mama had to call me off of them. But I'm not even a fighter like that. I did this across the world. Let me tell you, it was sick. This is verified stuff. It's verified stuff. I'm telling you the verified stuff. This is not to make myself sound tough, but I think I know how to handle a snake. I think I know how to handle a snake. The Egyptians know, and the people know. Ain't nobody gonna mess with my people. You can mess with me, I'm good. But ain't nobody gonna mess with my people. And I'm calm in the midst of the storm. I told you about that battle that happened. And I was calm even though it's bricks being thrown. I'm like, good Lord. You gotta be calm. It's not even about winning either. That's the thing that a lot of carnal people get. Man, I did this to that person. Let me tell you, that does not even matter. Did you come out alive and are you able to go home to your family? Who wants to hurt somebody? Who wants to hurt somebody? Everybody want to go home to their family in peace. That's why the scripture said, blessed are the peacemakers. But those who act hard, that I used to see, let me tell you, sometimes the Gentiles, they be claiming that Judah stuff. I've seen some people where the Gentiles make them eat their words. Yeah, I don't go around talking. I respect all men. And I keep the respect like the scriptures say. It's all about self-defense. But we're fighting a spiritual battle. The Most High, that it tells us he doesn't want us to go out there being brawlers. We're just living and trying to live in peace among all men and protect our families. Let me tell you, we can't fight no army. We're not trained people in the army. It's only a few of us who can do that. So we desperately need our God to help us fight. How he used to have the angels helping us to win these wars. Which of you think that these wars are fought only physically? Are you kidding me? Have you guys watched 300? Have you ever watched the ancient wars where 30 men are surrounding you and you fighting this way? You don't think nobody can knock you upside your head from the back? You think that's a physical war? That's not a physical war. Let me tell you, you can practice all the fighting you want now. If you are around 5 brothers and you ain't really like that, all they do is just grab you. You done. They just grab you even if they don't know how to fight. It's the weight, the natural weight that will hold you down. Are you kidding me? Y'all watch too much movies. It's only a few brothers that's just handling themselves like that. Trust me when I say that. And you talking about when there's bottles and knives and rocks in this situation and poles and sticks. It's a scary situation when your heart beating. You got to think fast. And sometimes you got to run. Well, razors is being pulled out. Let me tell you, we've been in this here and overseas. But people, just are very evil and crazy. So every time we fought these wars, guys, our God was with us. Sometimes he said, y'all don't even got to fight today. He like, I'm going to turn the army around. I'm going to cast lightning. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make them fight each other. It wasn't us that won the wars. Why do we get on social media and be acting all vain? It was our God the whole time. You better go read Maccabees and see how the angels came down to help fight. The Most High put a spirit of might on Judah. Go and read the Testament of Judah. He put a spirit of might on him. That's a spirit. That means his angel of the presence was a little different. Okay? he when before our fall like this, Judah, let me tell you, the Most High wanted that thing highlighted. Well, sometimes you have to run if you got to make it to fight another day. That's just the reality of it. Lions, let me tell you, how we gonna be called the lions of Judah and don't understand that? Sometimes lions are hunting against buffaloes. They can't act hard just because they're a lion. Mufasa died in the movie. The lions get hurt sometimes. They hunting the buffaloes, and sometimes the buffaloes is strong too. You talking about 1,000-pound animal can run a lion off sometimes. It just happens. This is the real world, guys. I mean, the social media had me cracking up sometimes. I'm just like, man, they've been watching too much Superman. And this be the clowns that where the weakest dude make them eat their words. You got to be real about things and respect your enemy. That means when I say respect him, you work hard enough to where you can actually be able to battle against him. The devil's coming at us. You got to respect this warfare, because when I say respect this warfare, you should be studying. You should be working, because he's working. All right. Verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. That's what we're in right now. And it's getting worse and worse. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh shall be saved. Because the devil is going to do whatever to get out into heaven. He's going to do whatever it takes to take out all of the righteous, to destroy everything of God's creation. Christ has to come back to save us, is telling us right here. No flesh would be saved. Let us not act hard and vain. And we're going, let me tell you, you ain't going to do nothing. Your God is going to take vengeance. If you would have taken vengeance, you would have done it a long time ago. You would have got us our 40 acres and a mule. You didn't. Depend on Christ and our God. Okay? Yes, practice so you can protect your family. But you can't go against Esau's army and the devil's army alone. I don't care how many jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, nice movie videos you got. It's good for movies. But it's not realistic. Even when we were learning certain arts over there, when we were dealing with Elder Rawchaa, we always learned the realistic stuff. You go and do a flying kick if you want to. If you ain't really the few who's made like that, that's not even necessary in every situation anyway. Okay? So we got to be wise here to make it through these times. We more so need to make sure we have our families in line, order in the house, so the Most High is like the Holy Spirit wants to rest on that house. She's like, nah, these two are together. The whole house is in order. We definitely got to save them. They are priority. You got these other cats over here and brothers and sisters, they looking like Hebrews. It's all good. We should look like Hebrews, but a look, he said, you shall know them by their fruit, not looks. She got her hair wrapped this way. She did the best hair wrap. She had the best garment. He had the best outfit today. He read the scriptures the loudest. He has the longest beard. He has, He has 144,000 fringes. I'm going to protect them first. No. He fasted for 40 days like Christ. I'm going to go and save him first. No. Go and read Vision of Paul. Go and read Vision of Paul and see what got where those vain people were. I don't do this for shine. I do this because it's the real deal. And because when I came in it, I knew that it was the real deal, and that I would not look back. But that's my personality. My personality is when I do something, I do it all the way, the best I can. Not judging people and trying to be better than people and all that, and trying to be seen. I don't care about none of that. Y'all can have it. Right? But then you can't be too humble, so you got to show your work. So just weights and just measures is how the Most High deals with us. Because then he'll tell us, if there's a time where you need to speak something, you'll become a fool if you don't say something. You just have to know when the timing of everything is, and be led through the Spirit. This is how we're going to be able to endure to the end. Ooh. That's how we're going to be able to do to the end. I promise I don't go through none of this until I sit here for a long time talking for so long. Anyway, verse 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, look, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. Why? Because you have people in Africa. Oh my goodness. They can show the Virgin Mary coming back through a Blue Beam project. These people crying tears. Are you kidding me? I don't know how they deceived our people to be so simple in certain parts of Africa. I'm like, they whipping people with a belt on the ground. They like, when people get buried, sisters are doing debaucherous things and twerking on the grave. Like, it didn't tell you that you shouldn't do. I mean, you didn't know through common sense you shouldn't do certain things like that. They brung the Virgin Mary back when I was staying in Africa. And we saw it. People were crying and all that. We were just like, Lord, have mercy. We knew there was a Blue Beam project, but I said, Father, please have mercy on our people. They don't know no better. And it's a white Virgin Mary. It's not even a black one. After all that Esau did to Africa, a white Virgin Mary can come back. The same people who came over there and colonized them and saved them. It's like... And then we were beaten to submission to turn to Islam. When we saw what the Islamites and Arabs did to us. I'm like, whoo. Let me tell you, I love my brothers over there too. Because I know everyone's not the same, but I don't want to hear this. I hate when our brothers, especially it's really on the East Coast, always talking about this Africa garbage. They didn't come rescue us. I'm sorry. They didn't come rescue us. I don't want to hear about they got power and millions. We're still here broke. They didn't rescue us. And I hate how in Black Panther they made the dude from the hood look bad. When he really just felt a certain type of way because it's like, listen, y'all forgot about us over here. Y'all supposed to have all this power, so-called. Y'all forgot about us over here. No. And then they made him the bad guy. We know we doing wrong over here to a certain degree, but guess what? We're lost. A physician comes for those who are lost, who are sick. So we can't judge our people to the point to where we can't bring them back. That's the people we're coming to save. So that's why we even putting these things out there right now. Because we do love our people. We do want them. That's why we street preach. That's why we do this every day. No one else is trying to save our people. No one else. They're just taking from our people and taking from them and taking from them and just draining them of everything they have and using them. And y'all need to ban that chick out there named Scarlip. Good Lord. This little new rapper. She needs to sit down somewhere. And unfortunately my sister is being misled too. She probably no different just trying to get out the hood. Trying to sound like Onyx. Get the God, New York. You ain't welcome no more. You get out of here and go sit down somewhere. You need to go sit your butt down somewhere and go to school or get a lesson somewhere. Y'all probably don't even know this. I'm into all of this stuff. I see all of this sin out there. The so-called 50th Hip Hop Awards. What are we celebrating out here? All of these distractions. Yeah, I'm glad y'all never heard of her. Her name is Scarlip. I know they get $1.50 out there. They used to always think I was from Brooklyn when I was in Egypt. Man, you from Brooklyn? Because you know, because at first when they thought you was African, they would try to check you. Every time. You from Africa? And I would play like I was from Africa. To see how far they would go. Because I'm like, oh, you really trying. I see how y'all do. If I'm from Africa, you try to go on me. But when you find out I'm from America, boys in the hood, Chicago, they always thought you from Chicago or Brooklyn. because that's where most of them go when they travel. And they like, yeah. And I said, nah, man, I'm from Louisiana and Texas. I mean, you sound like you're from Brooklyn. The talk and the walk is like, it's like, man, y'all be so corny sometimes. But yeah, man, like this 50 years of hip hop. What are we celebrating? I want to know. Then you got Uncle Luke talking about they not recognizing us in Florida and the South. Listen, brother, we shouldn't have never recognized that type of music. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people had a lot of fornication babies off of your music, Uncle Luke. Unfortunately, you can't tell the truth and then be begging, talking about they didn't welcome you on stage. Now, obviously, yes, they paid a lot of respect to the New York artists because that's where hip hop came from. But I'm just saying, what are we celebrating? Sin? Hip hop is hop hip now. It's totally out of there. It's totally backwards. Huh? Who that? Deetra Arnett. Wasn't I playing rap? We're not saying rap is bad. Hip hop is not bad. We're talking about the sin, the debauchery, the evil. Don't get it confused. Then you gonna have somebody last time say, hey, Elder, because I speak comfortable sometimes. It's no different than the woman who you said was ghetto. Are you kidding me? Let's be serious. Stop. If you're a righteous woman taking up for Jezebels, or that's what you are. We as pastors are never going to talk about righteous women. We have to exalt our righteous women and righteous men, and we have to speak the truth about the Jezebels and the whoremongers. That's what the Bible tells us to do. And guess what? I'm gonna have to talk to Elder and say, listen, we need to come out with a dog food called Jezebel. We need to come out with a dog food called Jezebel. Straight out. Make that thing healthy and market it Jezebel. Straight out. Because that's what she was in the Bible. Dog food. She was food for the dogs for trying to come against the prophets. Let me tell you. The Holy Spirit is sharp. Straight out. Straight out. I don't know what colors we should put in and all that, but we name that thing Jezebel. Woo, boy. All the Hebrews be buying that dog food, huh? Name that thing Jezebel. You want to come against the prophets, right? Yes, indeed. Let's go into verse 23 and 24, and then we're going to go into some of these links here. Then if any man shall say unto you, look, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So they say Jezzy bites. I know the Jezebels ain't gonna like that. We selling Jezebel. Who need it for their dog? Let that be a sign to you. Right? Our God don't play with nobody. Let me tell you, and you got these people who, oh, my baby, my baby. The Most High said, don't be proud about having a bunch of evil children. So if you're talking about my baby, pay attention to your baby. Make sure a man is in that house to help take care of your baby. Because if not, if you started off wrong, that's how the child can end up sometimes. Praise the Most High. We all made it back to it, but we got to work hard for our children. We want to go around having a bunch of children. They are souls to bring to the Most High. Because when they came to Elijah to talk that mess about an elder, let me tell you, the Most High fights for his elders. I want you to understand that in Scripture. Elijah was an elder. He was a Gadite elder. That's what he was. Okay? Yep, Elijah. So when they start calling him bald head, The Most High sent bears after those children. So let us get out of this thing just because somebody's a child. I can't believe God's going to kill children. If they're evil, yes, he will. Because children one day have to grow up. And he already can see their future before you can. You're just looking at children. He's looking at the soul and the whole process of the time of the soul. When it's going to be a baby, when it's going to be a young man, and when it's going to be grown. You see a little baby, but the Most High can see like he ain't nothing but that's what he is. So if we don't try to change that and raise them right, you're gonna be talking about my baby, and then you're gonna be we're gonna keep going to these funerals, perpetual. He's not your baby when he out there robbing Miss Susie. How many babies is out there right now? As we see, this is not a distraction, but when we see in California, these people robbing all of these stores, these department stores. Is that your baby in there? Is that your baby? The cops sure ain't gonna treat him like a baby. So the more you treat him like a baby when it's time to let the father do what he needs to do, guess who ain't gonna treat him like a baby? The police. And then we want to go march and do all of these things. Oh no. We it's time for us to get back under obedience. Stop questioning the people who are guiding you into the kingdom of heaven. And if you feel like they can't guide you, go and guide God's people. But unfortunately, women can't do it. All right? So, verse 24 says, they're going to possibly deceive the very elect. The very elect. Listen. We driving these Teslas, it's all good. But understand when it's a stopping point. You like this man's technology? Oh man, Elon's perfect. He made the Tesla. He's the richest man in the world. Yeah, but Elder, they healing people with that stuff. My grandma been sick all her life. Let me tell you, hey, you put that in you, you on your own. Okay? We're going to go into a quick song, and then we're going to go into these links really quick. All right? We got a video shoot this weekend. My goodness, it's going to be amazing and fun. Shout out to the Ohio boys. Yes, indeed. They already know what I'm talking about. It's a surprise for everybody else, but it's going down. It's going down. All right, let me see what song I'm going to play. I have no clue, so please don't get mad at me for what song I play. You understand? I have to, I don't know what song I want to play. I'm just picking something really quick. I'll tell you what, I'm going to play, 1 second here. Fair use. I was just trying to find the quickest thing that would come up. So, give me 1 moment and we're going to play this, and I'm going to take a quick little break, and we're going to get to it. One second. Fair use.
righteous man fall 7 times and get back up again. Oh, gets back up again and fight. Oh, it's all that I have. It's the least that I can do. Oh, my worship. When there's nothing left that I can say or do.
Surrounding me, in your presence I'm weak and on my knees, arms outstretched, it's no surprise, tears are falling from my eyes, exactly where I need to be, this gift for you, Lord, please. I show my way and it never works, I lean on myself and it always hurts, desperately trying to free myself, when I know back to you. Your love is true, and I will always worship.
My worship is the best that I
will worship.
Please receive.
When there's nothing left
that I can say. Give it all to you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That is Fair Use TTK featuring Stevie Diamond. TTK out of Dallas, Texas. Alrighty. So, we are back. Look, somebody say stop trying to teach in the chat. There you go. There you go. You know how it go. Let me tell you, we always got sideline teachers. They got like let me heap some souls to myself real quick. You know, I don't know if you think you're trying to get you a honey. I don't know what you're trying to get. I don't know what you're trying to get. You sure ain't gonna get in the kingdom like that. And you sure ain't gonna get the reverence of elders or a real woman or man like that. It's straight vein. I'm gonna tell you right now. So, anyway, before we start, man, Great Academy last week had a few of the elders. Husband and wife on there, gave some great information there. Gave some great information on relationships. powerful academy. Make sure you stay tuned this week on Sundays. If you want to join, make sure you go to historytimes.org. If you want to get you some beautiful supplements that I sell on my site, all you already know, and you got to put them in that Judah glass. Make sure you go to KIIYsupplements.com. I'll put the link in later. If you want to get you some smell good, I have to promote this. My brother really, he really did his thing. I don't want to forget the site, QuadarHomeopathicoils.com. QUADAR homeopathicoils.com. Yes, indeed. QuadarHomeopathicoils.com. Hey, you smelling like you dipped in black butter. You understand? Yes, indeed. So, I'll put the links a little later. All right. You want to get you a nice shirt, go to lionborntees.com. That's Elder Rawchaa. And you got Deacon Malak with kingmansions.store. All right. So, anyway, we're going to continue here. Nice song by TTK and Stevie Diamonds. We're going to show some news and distractions that's going on around the world. You've been trying to get back in shape. Wait till I get on that Patreon. I'm speeding the Patreon up to motivate you guys. I've been putting some things in line, but it's coming. Okay, I've been putting out, custom workout plans for people, and they hitting me up like, yeah. So I do them custom because everyone has different schedules, and if you work a 12-hour shift, you can't be doing no 3 hours in the gym. You ain't gonna get no gains. So it's crazy how people think that. Like, no, you're hurting yourself more than anything. So I give out custom plans. All right. And they're not for free, so don't think they for free, because I'm busy all day, so you're really paying for my time more than anything. But if you're serious, and yeah, let's go. So it's a lot of workout videos out there though. Check them out, but just be careful for the lies and the things that they tell you. Because I used to work for a gym, and the reason I quit is because they lie to people. Somebody fainted in the gym, and the next day I'm like, I'm out. Because the training they put us in to train people, they wanted us to cheat the people, and I said I can't do that. It's like I can't do that in my spirit. The next day I went after training. You walked in there, and a lady literally fainted because they want you to push them so hard on the first week, so you can sell them something. I can't be responsible for stuff like that. So I've been training over 15 years. So anyway, let's go into our links. Our news, fair use, educational purposes only. We want to talk about the topic at hand right now. Okay. Let me, 1 second. Let me make it a little smaller for y'all. Yes, indeed. We got our poor brothers and sisters out there in Maui. Hawaii wildfires. 1 second. Let me see something really quick. One second, people. Just trying to stretch this out a little bit for y'all so y'all can see what's going on. Alrighty, 1 second. Hawaii wildfires. This is BBC.com. Let me tell you something you probably didn't know about. Well, I know a lot of people in California. I have friends and family in California. So, the phone signals were, being, they were in a lot of disturbance doing this stuff. I'll say that. And you're probably like, well, why, Elder? People were trying to call each other. They could not get in contact. I'm going to tell you why. I already knew. I knew that when this so-called happened, we've been doing this a long time with these events. Okay. I knew it wasn't what they said it was. I'm going to say it like that because you got this algorithm robot. I knew it wasn't what they say it was, what they said it was. I said, hey, this looks like something totally different, something purposed. Okay. And it's something fishy about it. So the phone things, people's phones not connecting and being able to call people. You know why? It's what they are, it's what you're reading right now. Now, this is all alleged. And I want to, before we go into these news articles, I'm going to use their own words against them. You guys are going to know what I'm saying. If I say that it's allegedly false news, know that I'm saying that it's what? TRUE. So don't be confused when you hear me saying that. I want y'all to know in the chat. If you hear me saying that it's false news, guess what? You know what I'm saying. Okay? So that's how we planning for the algorithm. All right. So here we have some false news. So you guys know that I am a... Okay? Get what I'm saying here. You know I'm being sarcastic. There you go. I just want to make sure people know, because we have to start to it's almost like we have to change our language as time goes by. So we have to be sarcastic. So the first false news today is so YouTube won't flag us. We're telling YouTube, yes, YouTube, it's false news because you said it is. Hawaii wildfires, directed energy weapon, and other false claims go viral. Man, I can't believe these false claims are going so viral. I wonder why. Well, there's aerial views of this, and you see, like, hey, it's a lot of trees that was still there, and it was in a certain part of town. The trees were still there and all of that. It's like, did they only leave the trees where they want to take over the properties, the real estate properties? Is a lion ring for sale? Oh, listen, you can get this off Amazon. Let me tell you, Elder don't front. I don't wear all these expensive diamonds and stuff no more. You know why? I just get like stainless steel and stuff, and I will wear a little silver. I got real diamonds and stuff. They keep them in treasure chests. Why? Because we're coming at a time when people jack you, you're gonna lose your investment. So I'm not stupid. I learned how Esau rolls. They got replicas. You can have a real deal, probably in the feast, and when you walking about, somebody whoop, guess what? You can have that. I go buy me another for $10, $20 on Amazon. See, let me tell you, you have to understand after a while, guys, people who have certain things, what they can actually have. Just because they don't buy it don't mean they can't have it. We look at a rapper and we see a chain around his neck, which obviously a lot of you guys know most of the rappers' chains are fake. I'm from Houston. I know Johnny Dang who makes the jewelry. So some of them can afford it and some of them can't. But I said that to say, they'll have a $100,000 chain around their neck, but then they won't own land, they won't own any property. What sense does that make? You have a custom chain that when you take it back to sell it, it's not worth the same price. We have to stop being stupid out here. I've been in situations where it's robberies and all of that going on, so I know how it goes. They want to see, and now, hey, you want this? Yes, you can have it. Yes. Because, you keep the replicas or you keep the fancy stuff, the real deal, in a treasure box like the ancient Esau used to do. You want it? There you go. See, a lot of people like to front, and that's what makes them. This don't make me. You see, this don't make me. If any of you knew me before the truth, ask my little brother Deacon Malak. I kept diamonds all over me. I had a $17,000 chain that I wore on my neck, and it was a small, nice cross. White gold, $17,000. So what I learned about it, though, is that after I wore it for a while, it didn't really mean anything to me anymore. People were looking, it just was normal. No one was asking me, only a few haters, but no one really cared about it. So I felt like I wasted my money. When I became a grown man, I put away childish things. It's not about jewelry and all of this vain clothing. That's why you see Kanye walking around with regular clothes. What is these clothes to a billionaire? What are these clothes to a billionaire who owns factories, know how they make the clothes, where they make the clothes, and he knows how it's done, how people go out of the way. Oh my goodness, I got to get the new Gucci. He was just in the warehouse where they make Gucci. It's not, to him, it's not really Gucci. It's some Chinese people up in there making some clothing, and when they put it in the shop, you like, oh, you don't have the Gucci. So people who understand back end are not desperate for front end things. We're not desperate for consumer things. You have some people who are consumers and some people who are not consumers. So that's the thing y'all have to start. We have to start to think that way. We still trying to compete with Israelites. Let me tell you, why would I wear $1,000, $2,000 gold chain on my neck, somebody in these times to come and jack me and put my children's life on the line for that? They can have this chain because Go pay $30, $20, whatever it costs. I don't remember it. Let me tell you, this ring $10. Real earthstone from the ground. I'm not no fronter, so when you meet me, I'm the real one. I'm not no dude who, yeah, man, get out of here with all that. We are children of the Most High. If I want it, I can have it though. But you have to pay attention to the times. I just told y'all, don't go have a baby when it's war. If it's bombs dropping, bombs are not dropping right now, but if it's bombs dropping, pay attention to the times. It's people human trafficking, people doing all type of stuff. So listen, if you have something on your neck and your heart is where your treasure is, meaning your heart is like, this is what makes you, some people will put guns to your head and you'll be like, no, I'm not giving it up. And now you died because your life was in a chain. You see? So be wise. You go to the Passover, say, okay, I got the same thing in the treasure chest. I take it out the treasure chest. And when I get to the feast, I put that thing on, make sure nobody looking around. You feel good with that. You see what I'm saying? That's just what I'm saying. On the weekdays, I might drink out of cups like this. On the Sabbath, you got to be wise. I might drink out of cups like this, silver. So let me tell you, the scriptures even tell you that. It says you use some normal dishes, and then you have some other type of dishes. So once we start to think a little differently, I promise you the Most High is going to use us in a lot of different ways. Okay? And why you say, well, why would you have a silver cup? Because it's an investment. Why would I invest in silver to stay in the treasure chest and I can never use it? I have those holy dishes on the Sabbath for God. I separate those 6 days. On the 7th day, I eat with my family in holy dishes. That's in the Bible. So it's not something you have to do, but I'm just saying. Okay? So don't ever look at me and think I'm some dude who think I'm all that. Man, I will give you this chain and gonna buy me another one. I love you. It's not that deep. And look, one thing we need to understand about Israelites, we make things fly. We make them fly. You don't know your mama going to Claire's to get them earrings. She don't care about if them things is diamonds. Your mama like, man, I'm not finna spend all that money on that stuff. Your mama is have faith. She like, listen, mama and grandmama and auntie, baby, I don't care about none of that. I'm fly. What you talking about? You see? So that's the thing we have to think about. We make the statement. Stop giving Amalek all of your money. If you're going to buy a Lamborghini, it's just going to sit in the garage just to say you have it. If you get a scratch on a Lamborghini, you got to pay $30,000. Why don't you just rent it? Rent it when you go visit, drive that thing, have fun with it, and let them deal with the maintenance. Because it's going to lose value sitting in your garage. Let us start to have a different type of mindset. Own your stuff and don't buy vain stuff. That's why we see a lot of rich people walk around in regular clothes. They don't want nobody to know them. I don't want nobody knowing me. I don't want nobody to know who I am. You know, and I can only obviously stop that to a certain degree, but let us be wise. That's all I'm saying. I digress with that, but somebody wanted to buy the lion ring. Just tell me who you are, I'll send it to you. It's all good. It's not that deep. We're going to be doing some giveaways on G.O.C.C. Media anyway. Be giving away some supplements. Hey, I might just send you a diamond. I mean, not diamond. I might send you a lion ring. You see? And there's nothing wrong with you if your choice is say, no, I got to wear the real. Listen, I was like you too. When I went to Egypt, I had all of that on. And then when I sold it because I needed a little money, they gave me the money for the gold and not the diamonds. And that's when I really said, oh, I'm done. I said, you ain't going to give me nothing for my diamonds? He said, we don't care about that. In Africa, they don't care about diamonds. In America, they do. So I learned a whole lot when I was overseas. I said, good Lord. So just want to put that out there. Anyway, let's continue with the article. Let's look at this photo here. The fires have been subject of false posts that have spread rapidly online. Do y'all see all of this false post? False claims about deadly wildfires in Hawaii, including the shadowy forces orchestrated. They saying shadowy forces orchestrated the disaster with a laser beam have gained traction online. Oh my goodness. I can't believe people would say such a thing. I can't believe that. It must have gotten so powerful that they had to put it online. But do you see how they do warfare? Do you see how they do warfare? Reverse psychology. reverse psychology. They'll put the same thing out knowing it's true and say, yeah, these are false claims. I can't believe someone would even think of that. I can't believe someone would say that they're the real Jews. These black Israelites, these Jews. That's how they do things, guys. As long as they play the game like that, they win. We got to start playing the same game. Yeah, this is a false claim. I can't believe it. Right? So yeah, this, guys, it's so many people catching on to the Wizard of Oz behind the scenes. Let's say that they had to put this article out. People are waking up. The tribes are waking up. But it's time for them to not just wake up. They need to come back to their God. Okay? Don't just roll out of the bed on the ground and go back to sleep. Wake all the way up. Okay, let's go to our next article. Y'all got me digressing all over the place. I'm gonna have to stop wearing this. Is some distractions for y'all. We talk about distractions around the world. They looking at the lion ring. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. Hold up. Let me open this. Yeah, this next link. Fair use. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. There we go again. Hold on. Let me see if I can get the volume. Listen. The beliefs in this video are not our beliefs. These beliefs are conspiracy theory beliefs and false claims. I can't believe the beliefs in this video are false claims and they're conspiracy theorist beliefs. We changing it on them now. We changing it on them. Fair use.
Can anyone truly explain how cars are incinerated in this type of way? That a natural fire can literally cremate every single thing in its supposed path. I've never seen anything like this in my life, and I'm genuinely asking a question to anyone that has any kind of knowledge or experience in firefighting or anything like these natural disasters. Is this a natural occurrence that this can possibly happen? Something that can look like an apocalypse came through, that something just literally incinerated everything in its path. Can someone please comment below? If you have experience in anything like this, have you ever seen anything like this?
So, this is what's going on, guys. False claims. False claims. Yeah, Elder Dale said metal burns and somehow the trees don't. and you know the funny part, I'm not laughing at the destruction of the people. We're laughing at how they can think that people would actually believe in such false claims. If you know what I mean. I don't want to confuse y'all. I told y'all what the false claims mean. They say it look like the movie Mad Max. That's what I was telling you guys. Christ said in Matthew 24 that all of these things shall be thrown down. But the scriptures also talk about how the Most High will be angry for them rebuilding. It says the more they rebuild, the more I will be angry at them, saith the Lord. Okay, building their houses on thievery and robbery. You're probably like, well, why are we saying thievery and robbery? Well, we're gonna show you why. We're gonna. There's some more false claims out there. Let's see. Can we? 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, my beautiful people. 1 second. Fair use. Fair use. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I know we gonna bring it in. KITV4, educational purposes only. More false claims. Can't believe it. My goodness.
Action tonight from Maui, where Oprah Winfrey recently bought hundreds of acres of ag land in upcountry.
Now, we were the first to tell you about this earlier this week. Some disagree with the buy, but as KITV4's Ali Duklo explains, two lawmakers say it's actually a good thing.
Some on social media are calling.
5 months ago, Oprah bought, allegedly, hundreds of acres in Hawaii. Uh-oh.
By excessive because the millionaire already owns more than 100 acres in upcountry in Hana before buying 870 more acres in Kula.
Ag land is treasured here, as you can imagine. It's open space, it's beautiful.
Winfrey bought the agriculturally zoned land from Ulupalakua Ranch for $6.6 million. Our Instagram post of the news garnered hundreds of comments, most of them disapproving the purchase. This is a screenshot of some of the
So the locals over and over again are saying they don't want her to continue to be greedy and buying all of their property. Why? Because this was their people. This was these people's land before. And these people came over there and, you understand, just took advantage of these people through colonization. So they're like, listen, we're trying to keep the little we have left from everything that happened, all of the millions of people that died through colonization. Right? And you can say, well, Elder, she's an Israelite. Well, yeah, hey. Let me tell you, all Israel is not Israel. According to her fruit. She taking trips to Epstein Island. She's an island girl. She like to be on Maui Island, Epstein Island. You understand?
One Maui resident arguing, why is this allowed? Councilmember Yukile Sugimura, who holds the upcountry residency seat, lives about 30 minutes away from Winfrey.
I'm going to guess that she has an access deer problem, hog problem in her yard.
That's an issue Sugimura is welcoming Winfrey to become involved in, trying to mitigate the area's rampant deer population.
We're struggling. We're putting tax dollars together to try to do fencing and culling. We want to protect our food for food security as well as protect the watershed. So those are the big issues. And she's stepping right into the big issues.
Sugimura says she appreciates how Winfrey.
So this woman is for Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, how much they break her off?
Hires a local resident for work on her property and other roles. Maui Senator Linda Coit points out Winfrey, who has been a part-time Maui resident for about 15 years, has made contributions to the community. In 2021, Winfrey
Was that Gail King in the back with her? Is that who that was? Yeah. Lord.
Donated $100,000 to the Women's Fund of Hawaii. DeCoit adds, much of the land Winfrey buys on the island remains undeveloped.
She's always been a great steward.
Why is it undeveloped? Didn't I tell you guys that they said now they want to make this place the first smart island? Huh? And coincidentally, all of these false claims of these lasers hit the island.
Of our land, would it be to preserve it?
That's why DeCoit calls the acquisition a positive purchase.
I wish we had more people like her that consider when we purchase lands, that they consider some of the reactions of the community from the past of how we've just been inundated with just a whole lot of development and tourism.
Ulupalakua Ranch declined comment on the transaction, and we have been trying to get into contact with Winfrey and her organization. Ali Duklo, KITV4, Island News.
Yes, indeed. Now we're not thinking about going solar with you because we know, yeah, the solar bill, the same thing as the regular light bill. Y'all in this climate change. Good Lord of mine. I tell you, they've been offering people solar, and it's the same as a light bill. They talking about you'll save $2,000 to the whole year, but then now you paying them. So listen, if the grid falls down, I'm still on y'all grid. Y'all can turn my electricity off whenever y'all want to. I get solar on my own. I'm good. Y'all got to be careful. Let me tell you, You get solar on their grid. If the grid goes down, they turning that solar off. You can find a way to privately, legally connect your own solar. Trust me. You like, listen, I don't want to be on y'all's grid. Something happened, I need my own stuff. Okay. Fair use. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. I don't even know what just happened here. It says, breaking news, a massive fire has broke out in Houston, Texas, near Oprah's refugee community. My guys, what a coincidence. The same time the fires are going off in Maui, there's a fire in my hometown, Houston, next to her refugee camp. What is really going on? I mean, she's everywhere. She's on Epstein Island. She on Maui Island. She in H-Town. I mean, what is going on? The distractions. But listen, some of these things we need to pay attention to. Some of these things are not just distractions. They're things we need to pay attention to. Why? Because we need to see what they're actually telling us and showing us, and that they are getting away with. Allegedly. Let us play some more false news here. One second. It's the fire allegedly. Houston, Texas. A few days later, simultaneously while this fire is going on in Maui. Yeah, distract them from over, because Houston's talking too much. Distract them. I don't know, guys. Let me tell you, this is crazy right now. It is crazy. So what do y'all think? What do y'all guys think? Isn't that a coincidence? Let's see really quick what's going on the other side of the world. What news is going on the other side of the world? Fair use. Educational purposes only. We do not agree with the views of the videos that we play. We're playing them for educational purposes only. Some of this news could be conspiracy theory or false news. We don't know.
Iran signs 21 cooperation agreements with African countries. Wrapping up a three-nation trip to the continent, Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi confirms more than $2 billion in trade for this year. It's the first visit to Africa from an Iranian leader in more than a decade. So why the push now to strengthen Tehran's African?
You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. But the Most High said he will bring them into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Don't think China is in Africa for any reason. Don't think Iran is not in Syria and Yemen for any reason. They're strengthening their position. They are strengthening their position. He shall bring all the nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay? Even North Africa is going to be in on it. Libya, Lebanon, Syria. There we go. It's here. We here, guys. Don't worry about the other distractions. See what's really going on according to prophecy. See what's going on according to prophecy. Why the distractions are going on. This fire in Maui. It's not a distraction. Megan Thee Stallion, that's a distraction. You see? Yeah, hip hop awards. Let's get these Negroes together for the hip hop awards. Really, the hip hop awards ain't till next year. Let's just tell them it's this year. Even though I don't know if that's true, but I'm generalizing. How they can just press a button on us at any time. They clone Tyrone. Bring the hip hop awards out. I know y'all said y'all was gonna do it in September or or October, let's just do it right now while the fire's going on. Keep everybody busy. They're not gonna pay attention to that. They're gonna be singing, "Get the God, New York, you ain't welcome no more. Back the God, move it back." You got a woman out there sound like a straight dude. And that song is garbage, by the way. She sound like she's spitting all over the place. I don't want to meet no sister named Scarlip. Take my sister back and let her take the Hebrew and Bible Academy and put a cover on her head. Our brothers is sitting up there, Busta Rhymes, all these people allowing this chick to get up there, simple as a day's old. Like they're the big brother. You need to be telling her, sis, what are you doing? Well, guess what? They had Raw Digger up there too, so, but at least she was rapping about something positive. But for me, it was still a little manly. I'm sorry. With this deep woman rap voice thing, I'm not. Hey, keep the little cute sweet thing going on. You know, if you sound too much like a dude, I don't want no breakfast plate from you. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can keep all that. With all reality, you can sound tough, but go to a real man and try to fight a dude if you want to. Like that, it's like they pushing our sisters to a dead end, to total vanity. And you got men backing this garbage. You listen, nobody definitely gonna want to come to New York if you sounding like that. We good on that. We coming to the church. Make sure that the private plane lands right on the church. Whatever borough she in, we good on that. Her and 6ix9ine gonna meet you and greet you. We don't need it. We good on that. They just told nobody you ain't welcome no more. All right. Well, who says who? Your little tail? Are you kidding me? This is who they promote, guys, the distractions. I would love for them to promote all the beauty in the New York church. The beautiful sisters and brothers. The marriages and stuff they be having and the love of Christ. I would love for them to put that on the news. They put the Scarlip on the news. And people who got $1.50 on their face. My goodness. Clowns.
I'm Andrea Sankey, and today's newsmaker is Raisi's Africa visit. And the U.S. has subjected Iran to a new bout of sanctions for allegedly supplying Russia with drones that have been used in Ukraine.
And Clarissa Shields talking about fighting dudes now. What is going on? She's winning all the fights against the women. Now she's calling out dudes. Cocky woman. She done called out a few dudes. And she just sitting there like sister, I'm starting to think she's not all there now. I really am. And I was rooting for my sister. And I'm like, look at Clarissa Shields. It's like, what's going on in Babylon today? These sisters, she's like, listen. I mean, hey, why do you want to fight a man? You can fight the smallest dude and you can be bigger than him and you'll feel the real strength of a man. I'm just keeping it real. It really bothered me. I had to unfollow her from Instagram. I'm like, she already had this ratchet song. She already had this ratchet song. I say, sister, you was a good boxer. Keep a good image. You can't take the hood out of them, though, I guess. It looked like they didn't took. I can't do that to my sister. She don't know no better. I'm not gonna go in on my sister. Let me leave her because I like her little fighting style. She don't know no better. Father help her because she know not what she do. She didn't got deceived. But hey, you know what? If she get up in there and do that, I feel sorry for her. Yeah, we doing a little too much. Anyway, let us focus on prophecy here.
Now, this has prompted Iran to step up its diplomatic outreach to developing countries.
Us, two countries, are against sanctions, and we believe that sanctions are a tool for the Americans, like a military tool that they use against nations.
So they're saying in this that they believe that it's a military tool. So if they're coming together with the same mind that someone is using military tactics against them, when you watch this whole series here, why is Iran focusing on strengthening ties with Africa? They say it's more so for financing, but he just said it there. If you read through the lines, they believe it's a military tool. So, I'm not saying I'm with the Iranians. I'm not. I'm talking about Bible prophecy. This is for educational purposes only. Okay? So, we know, just like in the past, the Persians had a part for us going back to build our temple. Right? But the Most High is going to deal with them later too. So Jacob has to also be wise. But we know that it's all prophecy. He's gathering all of the nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat for the purpose of freeing the children of Israel. So I just wanted to show that there. We can't watch the whole thing of that. We got to go through the other links. But I want you to check that out. You can go check that out on your own time. I'm just running through these links. We got some powerful news. Elder Rawchaa just sent me this. He just sent, one second. Fair use. This is, guys, I want you to know this right here. Don't forget what Elder said earlier. Don't forget what Elder said. This is false news. This is false news. Let's play some of this false news. Fair use for educational purposes only. I can't believe people are putting false news out there. Former Vice President at Pfizer, Dr. Mike Yeadon, explains why digital ID and CBDCs must be rejected at all costs. They plan to take digital tyrannical control of everybody and then kill most people. If I'm wrong and you follow me, you'll get laughed at. If you believe the government narrative, I'm right, you'll lose your freedom and probably your life. Listen, me and Elder Rawchaa, since we've been in the truth, we used to share news to each other like all over the place. That's all we did. So yes, he got the news. That's all we did all day. We just share the news. All over. We send it to Elder. Yeah. We got, you know what I mean?
They're going to impose a digital ID on everybody. Decline it. Decline it. You do not need a digital ID to live your peaceful life. Evidence the last hundreds of years. You do not need it. They need you to have it. Decline it. What else have they got cooking? Central bank digital currencies. Yes, it's very different from your bank card, because it's a real-time transaction that looks for where you are and what you're buying before it says yes or no. Your current bank card only asks, have you got the money? So when they introduce central bank digital currencies, they'll tell you that, oh no, cash will run alongside it. No, I'm confident they're going to find a way of removing cash. Use cash at every possible opportunity. Decline business with anyone who won't accept it. Now this is going to involve you in inconvenience, just like declining digital ID is going to involve you in inconvenience. If you don't accept the inconvenience, you stepped into what I believe will be the human slaughterhouse. I think they plan to take digital tyrannical control of everybody and then kill most people. That fits the data better than anything else you've been told. So if I'm wrong and you follow me, you'll get laughed at. That's not so bad. If you believe the government narrative and I'm right, you'll lose your freedom and probably your life. I'm going to stop there. I just know.
Now, I'm wondering why he's coming out now. Sometimes I wonder why these people come out now. Why you didn't come out this a long time ago? But I mean, that's neither here nor there. It came out, but it's like you're president of this place, and I mean, you didn't know to say something. sometimes I'm confused by that. You know, I don't know if it's a part of their white magic. They got to tell you what they're doing and all that, but I mean, tell you, I'm glad the brother came out and said it, but I wouldn't trust him either, because I'm always question, like, bro, why you just coming out saying this now, mister? Why are you just coming out saying this now? Fair use. All right. Look, prophecy. California judge charged with, okay, this is educational purposes only, CNN.com. Fair use. California judge charged with murder and wife's killing. So this gentleman right here, a Southern California judge, has been charged with murder and fatal shooting of his wife. Orange County Superior Court Judge Jeffrey Ferguson. Okay, Jeffrey Ferguson. No, we ain't doing that. 72 years old, guys. I'm like, what's going on with the 72 years old people here? Huh? You're right. Maybe because they have to tell us before these fallen angels go through with their destruction. So the Most High can say, listen, these people actually told you what they were going to do. Is accused of killing his wife, Cheryl Ferguson, 65, at their Anaheim Hills home on August 3rd after an argument at a nearby restaurant. Prosecutors claim in court documents that Ferguson threatened his wife during a dinner by pointing his finger at her in a manner of mimicking a firearm. When the couple returned home, prosecutors claim Cheryl Ferguson dared her husband to shoot her, saying, "Why don't you point a real gun at me?" He then pulled out a pistol from his ankle holster and shot her, they say. Within minutes, the documents say Ferguson sent a text message back to his court clerk and bailiff, "I just lost it. I shot my wife. I won't be in tomorrow. I will be in custody. I'm sorry." The Anaheim Police Department arrested Ferguson after his adult son called 911 to report his mother being shot, the Orange County District Attorney's Office said. Prosecutors say they recovered 47 weapons, including rifles, shotguns, and handguns, and more than 26,000 rounds of ammunition from his home. Esau ain't playing with nobody. Esau ain't playing with nobody. 26,000 rounds for a 72-year-old man. Let me tell you, they're not playing around. And you know, hey, they like, hey, I'm not. He said, listen, I'm Tory Lanez. That's what he said. He said, I'm Tory Lanez. Don't play with me. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane because I'm Tory Lanez. You understand? Yes, indeed. Listen, OG was not playing. He must have seen that Tory Lanez and say, listen, you can get it too. My goodness. Woo, that boy, listen. He seen that Tory Lanez. He said, woman, you better stay in your lane. Hey, he pulled it out the ankle and he did the Tory Lanez, man. So, with all jokes aside and all laughter, okay, let's side the humor for a second. I dropped this to you guys to show you. Elder was just going into, there must be something inside of the people that's making them react this way. Felicia Henry say, who Tory Lanez? It's a music artist. It's a rap music artist. I'm not saying the brother did it. I don't know what happened, but that's what's out there right now. That's what's out there, and you know, unfortunately, I'm gonna play something, but there's something in people right now that's making them react a certain way. So are we saying? Elder just talked about it on his Patreon. Showed something from the Kingsman. There's things going on in this Tyrone movie. That's all I'm saying. Listen, it's something making the love wax cold out here. It's just, And he said he lost it. I just lost it. I want you to pay attention to what he said. He said, I just lost it. Somebody press a button on you, you go off for a second. Now these demons got entry whenever they need it. Boy, what is going on in the world? The judge. That's how he became a judge. By doing right, huh? What is going on? Here goes some distractions, some horse and pony show stuff here. Every time they say they're going to put one of the Wizard of Oz cats up in jail, they be chilling on an island somewhere. It just... Fair use. Who got indicted? I know y'all been seeing this, huh? They still pushing this horse and pony show. Y'all know it. While they complete their mission to destroy the children of Israel.
Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, one of 18 associates charged in Georgia alongside former President Donald Trump in the indictment alleging a plan to overturn the results of the 2020 election in the state.
Giuliani is now charged under the very statute he used to prosecute as a U.S. attorney. Fox 5's Linda Schmidt joins us live from the Upper East Side with a look at this remarkable twist in his career and what this means for the former mayor. Linda.
Yeah, hi there, Steve and Natasha. Well, Rudy Giuliani was once given the prestigious title of being America's mayor. But now he finds himself in a position of having to defend himself in a court of law.
At one point in his career, Rudy Giuliani was one of the most respected men in the country. As mayor, he helped guide and comfort the city and the nation through the shock and heartbreak of 9/11. Now he stands accused of trying to help former President Trump overturn Georgia's 2020 election results.
When you met with Georgia lawmakers, did you lie to them?
I'll talk about this until it's over.
A grand jury in Georgia has indicted Giuliani on 13 criminal charges that include violating the state's RICO law. It is the same law that Giuliani used back in the 1980s to take down the mafia in New York when he was the U.S. attorney. He said this in an interview in 2000.
I'll stand on my record of having prosecuted and put in prison more members of the mafia than probably any United States attorney in history.
But now the tables are turned. Giuliani is saying the real criminals here are the people who brought this case against him, Trump, and 17 others.
Defaming me, lying about me, putting in an indictment, one lie after another. Not only me, Donald Trump, a number of other people. I'm used to it.
The former mayor is accused of making false statements, impersonating a public officer, forgery, and filing false documents in an effort to keep Trump in power.
I think that there's a strong case against Trump, and I think Giuliani.
Attorney David Katz is a former federal prosecutor. He says Fulton County's district attorney chose the strategy of using the RICO law for a reason.
RICO is actually quite easy to prove. It's one of the scary things about it, as his defense attorneys are standing there.
Listen, I remember Mr. Giuliani. I forget what happened. There was some type of shutdown or something, some curfew in New York. And this dude was a part of all of this evil that was going on. So that's why I'm saying it's a horse and pony show. It's a horse and pony show. He's not some type of saint here. I remember this. I don't remember if I was overseas or whatever, but I remember this dude here. I don't know if there's some type of flood that happened in New York. I forget. But this is a distraction, guys. Him and his homie, Donald Trump. And yeah, listen, we like some of the things that Trump did, but let me tell you, at the end of the day, these are distractions. Sorry to tell you. Fair use.
Trump was indicted by a grand jury late last night along with 18 other co-defendants, including lawyer Rudy Giuliani and former chief of staff Mark Meadows.
Well, it wasn't until we went off the air at 11:30 that we learned the specifics of the indictments. The Fulton County District Attorney accusing them of election interference, charging them under Georgia's Racketeering Act, saying they tried to illegally overturn the state's 2020 election results. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest outside the courthouse in Atlanta.
I tell you, the convenience of when they bring these cases out. R. Kelly, Bill Cosby. I mean, they know the right time how to keep something in the news to keep us distracted. It's always some big thing, as if it's a new movie coming out. My goodness. Let me show you guys something. I want to show you this. Fair use. I want to show you guys this. You guys remember this guy? Y'all remember that beautiful story, Blindside, as you drop tears on all that? Beautiful movie, right? Sandra Bullock played in it. Let me tell you, I always had a feeling that something was up with it. Former NFL player and Blindside subject Michael O'Hare claims his adoption was a lie, and Tuohi, or however you say the name, family tricked him into signing a conservatorship. Check that out. Check that out. I had a feeling. So they played my brother. Let me tell you, they straight played my brother. Boy, listen. So basically that brother, he said, listen, he's suing him. And guess what? Guess what happened, guys? They didn't even pay the brother his money. He didn't get no money. They got all these millions of dollars. He didn't get nothing, guys. Can you believe that? Y'all that greedy? My goodness. So meanwhile, while all these distractions going on, there's prophecy going on still. The children of Israel is still getting used. I said, Lord have mercy. That story right there. I remember the part in the movie when the little short guy went up to him and then he pushed the short guy behind the couch. That was a hilarious scene for me. He was talking all that crap, and then the big guy. I love that movie. But they didn't get my brother a nickel or dime from him, man. It's just so sad. They still using our people. Huh? I'm just showing you the news. Let me tell you the news that's going on out here, guys. Huh? The Babylonians, they fight against us spiritually because they can't fight with us physically. They fight against us spiritually. So that's why I'm trying to tell you. Let me tell you. You can come out the womb and put the hands on one of them. I'm going to tell you right now. How do I know? Let me tell you. You seen what happened in Montgomery, Alabama. And I'm not bragging on it. I'm just saying. When it comes to the hands, Israel just got it. I'm just trying to tell you the truth about it. Okay? I'm just trying. Fair use. Just listen to me. So they spiritually fight against us because they can't do these. I'm going to show you right here. They're coming over here and they're spiritually warring against us because that's the only way they can battle. And the scriptures is telling us, listen, don't even worry about physically fighting. You're fighting spiritual wickedness in high places. They can't physically come against you. Okay, so what do? Guess what? They come in and they use psychology to get us to give ourselves over to them. As they become our doctors and our dentists. You understand? They coming over here doing your nails. And they spiritually putting poison. So if you don't get the right stuff, they putting poison in your hair. That's what they do. Because if they spiritually try to come with the boom, 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 boom. If they spiritually try to come like that, like in this video, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Check it out. What? He act like that joint was straight crucial too. That was nothing. That was corny. This is how they swole dudes is getting down out there. That's all you got? That looked like a cat fight in the hood somewhere. Sisters in the hood is fighting harder than that. That's it? And look at the people, look at the video. They say, how do you win this thing? What's this thing about? Because you know what's funny, when we were in Egypt, they had laws where they couldn't punch their brothers. And I like the laws in some ways because, I mean, hey, they have laws where they can't do violence against one another. They can only smack each other in Egypt, and then they won't go to jail. But let me tell you, smack, if we smack, we're gonna do the Simba joint. I know y'all see I got these Simba hands here. Huh? Yes indeed. We do the Simba joints. This joint they doing, we don't know what that is. Wait, what? Oh my goodness. So listen, that's how they get down out there. I've seen it in real life. That's how the Hamites get down. The Egyptians, they smack. The East Indians are also Hamites. That's how they get down. You don't have to worry about studying these too much. I mean, you got to study and you got to make sure you're good. But I'm going to tell you right now, according to what we just seen there and what we seen in Montgomery, Alabama, yeah, get up in the Bible and spiritually war. Because they already know they can't come against us. You already remember what we did to them when we was in Egypt. It was just a few of us and we was taking out all the nations. So we already know we can do this. That's just in us. We're going to survive. But we got to learn to start spiritually warring, guys, because that's what's going on here. That's what's going on here, guys. I thought I'd bring that out there for y'all to show you. This is how they're spiritually warring against us. Let me show you right here. So you don't got to worry about the hands. You don't got to worry about them throwing no hands. You know what they throw at us instead of hands? You would never guess. Fair use, educational purposes only. This is false information. You know what they throw instead of us instead of hands? What y'all think? Let me see in the chat. Huh? They throw hinds at us. Elder, that was corny. No, it's not. They spiritually war against us. I'm going to show you how. They throw hinds. Fair use for this false information. Yeah, they throw hinds. Hinds ketchup, not hands.
That moved to the US, let me show you something. So this is American ketchup, right? And if you look at the ingredients, high fructose corn syrup. Okay? And then this is the exact same brand, same ketchup that I bought in Canada while I was visiting this weekend. There's a maple leaf, okay? Look at this. None of that. Tomato paste, sugar, vinegar, salt, spices. Made with 5 simple ingredients. This is why America makes you sick. Ever since moving here, honestly, I've noticed a big difference in the quality of food, just in the quality of everything. Like, it's shocking. As a Canadian that moved to the US, let me show you something. So this is American ketchup, right? And if you look at the ingredients, high fructose corn syrup. Okay? And then this is the exact same brand, same ketchup that I bought in Canada while I was visiting this weekend. There's a maple leaf, okay? Look at this. None of that. Tomato paste, sugar, vinegar, salt, spices.
You see? Tomato paste, sugar, vinegar, salt, spices. That's all you need to make ketchup. Why are they giving us high fructose corn syrup? You guys got to start buying organic ketchup, guys. Don't just go for the brand names. You got to start understanding back end. Okay? You got to start understanding marketing. You know, when you go in a store, and just recently, because you know I buy as much food as I can organic. When you go into stores, you buy the organic beans, they're going to cost more, right? Right? So I'm always doing research, learning more about these marketing wars. All of the beans in America are already organic, guys. They can't spray them. So I'm just letting you know, You don't have to buy organic beans. There's only a few things out there that's like that. But beans, at least in Texas, I know in Texas, are one of them. But in America, I think the research that I did was in America. It can say organic, but it doesn't need to say organic because they are already organic, because there's laws against them actually dealing with the beans that way. So you have to find out when certain things say organic and it's certain laws against them doing certain things. That's when you have to say, oh, okay. Okay. So they do the same thing with milk. When it says no hormones, and then you got an organic one that says no hormones. They're really the same milk, guys. The only thing that changes them is that they said that when they let the cattle out to go and grass feed for a while, they have to come out and check to make sure that the farmers are doing that. But that's like a $3 difference, because I buy organic milk all the time. But it's a $3 difference. But the best milk for you to drink is really to get your own goats or your own milking cows. I'm just letting you know. But I said all this to say, to take it back, you don't have to fight against the nations preparing vain glory and physically. They already know they can't go against Jake. They already know. They know when we come together, if we came together like Montgomery, Alabama, in this whole place, they can have whatever weapon they want. When we come together, one black man is taking down, you know what I mean, like 5, 6, 10 dudes. If you really push a black man against the wall, and the sisters too. You don't remember when the elder was talking about on the slave ships, the sisters was going harder than the men. Not that sisters should be fighting men, but when we put our spirit together, it's a wrap. So they have to come at us with stealth, distractions, emotions. They want us to do what our God used to do to them. What did our God used to do to them? Get them to fight each other in war, and we wouldn't even have to go to war. They're using our own tactics against us. They're using our own tactics against us. Our God would say, listen, you don't have to fight today. He made them fight each other. Now we're doing that. Now we run when no man pursueth. They used to run in war when we didn't pursue, until the Most High told us we needed to pursue. So when we focus too much on this vain Instagram, you know what I mean, tough guy, let me tell you, so what? It's a nice video. It's a nice motivational video. But let you understand that it's for nothing. The scripture says, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. It's for your family. It's to protect you in emergency situations, but you're not going to win a spiritual war like that. I can tell you that right now. Or Moses wouldn't have had to put his hand up with the rod. We would have won it all physical. That was a spiritual war. Okay? I'm just putting it out there. Don't try to do no vainglory here. I showed that video to show, hey, they can't go against us. So they going this way. They getting us scared to say, hey, there's some code out there. Come and get the juice. That's how they fight us, guys. That's how they fight us. And we believe everything that the enemy says. We got to stop that. I wanted to show something really quick. This has a little profanity in there. So keep in mind, a lot of people are questioning why this brother Tory Lanez, no one knows if he did it or not, got 10 years for this situation. When it's not full proof of everything, allegedly, it's false information what I'm talking about right now, by the way, just so you know. I'm speaking false things, just so you guys know. But we putting it out there because there's a video of him surfacing, and I believe it's a little bit more of why he's getting 10 years than what they're saying. Not that he's perfect and I agree with him. No, I'm not saying that. I don't listen to his music. I don't listen definitely to Megan Thee Stallion. Good Lord. But I'm saying some of our people are waking up that they're being taken advantage of. That's all I'm saying. So that's why you think his father was saying, Jay-Z, who's signed to Jay-Z? Megan Thee Stallion is signed. She's signed to Roc Nation. She's signed to 2 labels. I think 300 Entertainment. That's a guy from Houston. He used to be a professional baseball player. That's why Jay Prince and him were trying to make sure that he gets his money because he got cheated. And Jay-Z went to kind of slide, you know, because Beyonce's from Houston, slide Megan Thee Stallion to him. So it's a lot going on there. But that's why Tory Lanez was saying all this about Jay-Z. Okay? So I don't know how true any of this is, but I'm telling you the truth that she is signed to Jay-Z. And his father was mad at Jay-Z. And it's just coincidental, like, hey, but you know, he's in the higher ups. That's all I'm gonna say. So just check out what he's saying here. And I'm not saying this currency and all these NFTs and crypto is, hey, you can do what you want to do. I'm just letting you know that this brother is saying something here. Fair use. If you one second. If you don't want to hear any of the profanity, I'm sorry. This is just how the video is. You understand? But he's dropping some jewels here. So that's the only reason I'm showing it there. All right. So fair use, educational purposes only.
People came, some people bought 20, some people bought 5, some people bought 60. It doesn't matter how much you bought. It was only $1. You spent $60, you bought 60. I need y'all to understand, one of those copies right now is going for 50,000, 60,000, 60,000. Yo, my nigga, and these are sold. They're sold. Go look at the list right now and see how small the sellers list is getting. Y'all don't understand what the fuck is going on? Y'all don't understand I just cracked the fucking industry? Y'all don't understand I just cracked this shit? I just cracked this whole shit. It's cracked. It's over. I cracked the whole shit. It's over. It's over. No more middleman. All y'all artists out there, fuck your label. Fuck the nigga that's telling you, yo, you gotta...
Excuse the language, please. Just eat the meat and spit out the bones.
For this day on Spotify and on this, fuck that. Nigga, it's over. Y'all gonna get paid, and your fans gonna get paid, and they gonna keep coming to you. Why? Because y'all making money together. This the digital trap house. Welcome, niggas. You're fucking welcome. We here. We here. You understand why I'm going so crazy? I can't believe I did this shit my fucking self. This may not make sense to niggas like y'all. Some of y'all niggas, it hasn't registered yet. It hasn't got there yet. It hasn't got there. Y'all niggas like, yo, why is he screaming?
Okay. So, like he said, some people probably don't understand what he's saying, and I'm not going to play it again because he was using the F-bomb a little too much, but I'm going to just drop this, that he's talking about, one second here. Let me see, can I let me see, one second. Okay, I guess in 1 second. No, we're not gonna do that. Anyway, he's talking about NFTs, this blockchain crypto stuff. That's what the brother's talking about there. Just in case some of you guys don't know, there was something I want to read here because somebody actually wrote something down there. Let me see if I can find it here really quick. Let me see. Okay. So this was somebody wrote down here in the comments. He's not only speaking of NFTs, but it's also linking the NFT to a smart contract. He put out an album as an NFT. And because of the smart contract, The money instantly is transferred into the artist's bank account, but whoever buys the album or song, it equates to buying stock in a company because that's how crypto works. So when the song or album is streamed on a streaming platform, that money gets instantly deposited into the artist's account, and the fans that bought the album get an instant percentage. This is why they this is alleged. This is why they blanked him. This is what his father's talking about. This is why they blank Michael Jackson and blank Prince. Music is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and they can't afford all to take control. So obviously, that's what happened and why he's so excited, because we're transitioning into digital currency. Now, right now, people are actually able to use it as cash. Right? They can pull out cash and all that. Okay? So, you know, I can't put people's personal business out, but it's true. Yes, you can actually pull the cash out. Okay? So, it is true now that I don't know how it's going to change when these CBDCs come. I don't know if it's just going to be Bitcoin or because PayPal has a new coin now. So we're still moving towards this situation. These companies are making their own coins. A long time ago, what was the guy who was talking about the Rockefellers? Aaron Russo. He was saying that they were going to come out with something called an Amero. Do I know if that's true or not? I don't know. False information, I guess. I don't know. All of this stuff is false information. But there's going to be I know PayPal has something that's backed by the dollar. I forget what they call it. They have Ethereum, they have Bitcoin, and they have their own coin that's coming out, being released very soon. So there's been NFTs out. Don't forget there was a big wave where people were buying this Ethereum coin. For those of you who don't know what you probably just don't know, but there was this, people buying digital property, where it's in the metaverse and people were living next door to Snoop Dogg in the metaverse and all of this crazy stuff. So it's very difficult for people to understand, but this is what he's talking about. So he got instant money from his album or whatever he's selling. I don't know if he's selling an NFT of his chain. I have no clue, but because he didn't start the video off like that. But it's not just, it doesn't look like it's just from him allegedly assaulting Megan the Stallion in the foot. It looks a little bit more like every time you try to go and knock on the door to see the Wizard of Oz, they're like, nah. So, hey, but the brother had the skull and crossbone hat on, and he still looks like he's kind of lukewarm. And you know what I mean? I did this all myself and all that. So he really need to come to Christ and realize, listen, come and fight this war in the truth. Come and fight the war in the truth. So we pray that, we don't know what happened, but we pray that our brother still gets the truth at the end of the day. All things can be forgiven. And hopefully he hadn't went too far. You understand. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. So let me tell you. It's a lot of distractions going on. That's why Megan Thee Stallion is going out talking about forget my haters and all of this, because it's a lot of Jezebels mad, even gay dudes and all that. Rainbow Gang, excuse me. What's a gay dude? That's false information. I'm sorry. My goodness. Rainbow Gang. But anyway, he's talking about he will put the hands on Tory for doing that. I'm seeing all type of weird stuff out there. So, but like I said, overall, these are distractions. But at the same time, it's showing the fall of Babylon. You understand what I'm saying? I wanted to show something really quick. How they are just... Man, our poor sisters are going through it right now. I can tell you. Fair use. Fair use. Our poor sisters are going through it. I mean, every chance they get, they're putting our sisters out there in such bad light, such bad press. Fair use, educational purposes only. This is fair use. Women are canceling Indy Ari for saying this. What is she saying so wrong? The Essence Festival was taken over by someone else. Once again, Mrs. Stallion the Megan, is up there, and these people, these sisters is up in there, and somebody in Clone Tyrone is pressing the twerk button. I finally got it. When I watched Clone Tyrone, I knew there was a twerk button. I knew it. I said, man, when I watched Clone Tyrone, there's a twerk button. Watch Clone Tyrone, you'll see. There's a twerk button. There's a button to make you go crazy, a button to make you go sell drugs. There's a twerk button. They had the back hidden room in the strip club, guys. Fair use.
There's a saying, the lie makes it around the world before the truth gets out of bed. Social media blending with the news has created this thing where they make stories just to get clicks. So they made it look like my story was, I have harsh words for Janelle Monáe and Meg Thee Stallion, and I do not. If I were addressing Janelle Monáe.
Janelle Monáe deceived our people, playing in these slave movies, speaking positive and Africanism and all of this garbage. And she got a movie called Lipstick Lover. I mean, a video. Total debauchery. And I stumbled on this thing. I wouldn't even try. I'm like, what is this? Total. They will take off our church things. They will take off children's things, church things that's telling the truth. And they will leave that. That's still up on YouTube right now. YouTube is very hypocritical. It's a woman sitting, when you go to the video, sitting backside, sitting there in your face. And you'll take a church video off, but you will leave that? Crazy. That's called draconian laws. Straight bullying.
That would have been clear. The concept that anytime a woman says anything, even in the vicinity of another woman, she's being catty and she's fighting. And so now we got this headline about what I supposedly did. Who I was addressing were the people in the comments, explaining to them that the video in question, not Meg Thee Stallion, not Janelle, but the video in question was out of context for the Essence Festival.
Here we go. You go to twerk button. Excuse your eyes. Buy you some new eyes after this. You're going to need some new eyes. Where's that colloidal silver spray the brother Cordova got me? I'm going to spray some new the nano colloidal silver in my eyes. Good father of mine.
About wholesome black entertainment. The brand shifted right under people's feet. That's what I meant when I said context. What I did was jump into the comment section.
So they're trying to cancel our sister, you know, for speaking like, hey, the Essence Festival wasn't this. Let me tell you, I don't deal with the Essence Festival at all. I don't agree with it at all, but it definitely got a little too far. I'm going to say that. Everything, it's like, are they going to be twerking on McDonald's commercials now? I'm just confused here. They were getting on this grown man for whipping his child on Instagram for, he caught her twerking. It's a baby. This baby wouldn't look like she been 2-3 years old. That's bad that our sisters is learning this. And he hit his daughter, and they like, is he wrong for that? No, he ain't wrong. My goodness, my goodness. What? Let me see. Sisters will jump you if you talk about they twerking. Sisters will jump you. And after they whip your tail, they might twerk on you. How do I know? Well, I seen somebody burying somebody in Africa, and then the sisters is twerking on the grave. You can't make this stuff up. My goodness. So, I tell you what, man. With all of these distractions going on, we need to stay focused. Let no man deceive you, like Christ said. Do whatever the Most High put in your spirit, in your heart, to bring forth the kingdom of Christ. Because if you don't, you're going to have to answer for it like that man with those talents. Don't sit back and say, Christ, I held the talent for you because I knew you was an austere man. You know. No. sowing where you did not reap. No, don't do it. Whatever the Most High given you, make sure that you use it to your advantage, guys. Because let me tell you, with all of these things going on, it's getting crazy. It's getting very crazy. Now, I want to show one last thing. This is some positive out of all of this. These are some positive works from children. They just so happen to be my children. So I'm not bigging them up, but at the same time, they've worked hard for it. And we should all big up our children and nieces and nephews and people in the body who's trying to bring forth the works of the Most High. So this is just one story, and they have more stories coming out. Okay, biblical stories. And the devil didn't want this to come out. He's doing everything in his power to not get these poor children little cartoon out to help their brothers and sisters. This is a story of David. There's more stories that are going to be coming out with it, whatever the case may be. But it takes time for these children, my 10-year-old to get up on here, a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old to get up on here and do these things. These are children making this stuff. So I want you guys to check out the story of David, how he killed the giant. And we appreciate all of the... And I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's getting late. So you guys can actually go and check out the rest on their page. Because I wanted to play the whole thing, but you can go and check out the rest on their page. And just subscribe if you or your children want to see more of the videos, okay? So let me put this out there for you. 1 second here. Let me put it up there for you guys. Lions Kids is a trademark brand. So, yes. Just to let you know. You got to make sure you got your paperwork on point because people try to steal things. So it is trademark and it's fair use and educational purposes only. All right, so you can subscribe to their page. Here's a link here. Here's a link for those who would like to subscribe. If you don't, it's all good. Listen, we don't cry, none of that. But if you do want to show support, if you do need something else to watch for your children, hey, it's all good. Subscribe. Okay. They got one of their little videos, the little shorts they put up from their moral stories. Praise the higher. That thing done got 40,000 views. Okay. And they just woke up one day. It's like, hey, I'm like, hey, y'all putting the work in. Keep putting the work in. And, you know, you're going to get that word out. So, hey. But let us put this up really quick. 1 second here. I'm gonna put it a little bigger. I'm gonna take myself out of the way. Let me see it. Do I need to make it smaller? How do I do that? 1 second, guys. Fair use. Hey kids, it's already late. You guys need to go to bed. We have to go to Sabbath class tomorrow.
One small story, please.
All right. Just one quick story, guys. But then, straight to bed. I know a story you will really enjoy. It's about one of your great distant relatives named David.
We're related to him for real?
Yes, children, we are. And this story is very special because Christ came from the branch of Jesse, which is the father of David. So starting here, we get to see the line of Christ come all the way down to us today. In Acts 13 and 22, the Most High said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. So David was pretty special to the Most High.
Oh, wow, Daddy, does that mean we're related to Christ too?
Yes. Okay, guys, get settled. Let me break the story down to you kids. There was a huge war that was about to happen against one of Israel's enemies at that time, called the Philistines. This was no ordinary fight, but one that would go down in history forever. Kids, the Philistines had gathered all their armies and were ready for the battle. They came together at a place called Shochoh. This place belonged to Judah, and King Saul and the men of Israel were also gathered together with their tents near the valley of Elah, and were ready to fight against the Philistines. King Saul was their leader.
Tell the men that we will be fighting soon. Everyone get their hearts and minds right. This is going to be a tough one, but with the Most High's help, we'll make it through.
The Philistines stood on one mountain on one side, and Israel stood on another mountain on the opposite side. And there was a valley between them both. Suddenly, a giant man appeared out of the Philistines' camp. This soldier was one of their champions, whose name was Goliath of Gath. He was no mere man, but a giant standing over 9. Sorry guys, I just turned the volume up. I apologize about that. Tall.
Dad, how can a man be 9 feet tall? That's huge. I'll be scared.
Yes, he was that large. And Israel had to fight him and his army. So who would fight the giant? Relax, guys. Let's see what happens next. Goliath stood up tall and yelled into the armies of Israel and said unto them,
I don't know why you all came here today. Like you're ready for a battle. Are all of you going to fight today? I am fighting for the Philistines, who will represent Israel and fight me. You are all servants of Saul, right? Represent your king and come down and fight me. Whoever can fight me and actually kill me, then will we bow down and be your servants. But if I win against him and kill him, then you will all be our servants and serve us well. I stand against Israel today, so send me a challenger now!
When Saul and all Israel heard the words of the Philistine giant, they were stressed, and the men trembled with fear. Now David was the son of that Ephrathite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. Jesse had 8 sons. And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shammah. And David was the youngest. And the 3 eldest followed Saul into the battle. But David, being too young, stayed behind to tend to his father's sheep. But who knew he just might be the brave soul to face the giant one day.
I will fear nothing, for I am a son of the living God of Israel. I have strength and power from my God on high, and nothing shall harm me or my sheep.
Meanwhile, back at Shochoh, the Israelites were continuing to prepare for the battle, but no man was brave enough to face the giant. Every morning and every evening, the giant Philistine would come and make fun of the Israelite army, challenging them to fight him. This went on for 40 days straight with no contender in sight. Now Saul and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah fighting the Philistines. The battle had begun, still with no contender for the giant Goliath.
How can this be that not one man, not even one, in all of Israel will fight the Philistine? How will we defeat them and return to our families? I know there has to be someone. Anyone!
Is there anyone here that will man up today? Yes? I didn't think so. I thought Israel was fearless and protected. Doesn't look like that now. Prepare yourselves to serve us.
David, my son, gather some dried corn and these 10 loaves of bread and take them down to the camp where your brothers are with King Saul. And take these cheeses unto their captain. And while there, David, check on your brothers to make sure they're okay.
Yes, sir. I will go quickly and return as soon as I can.
Now Saul and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah fighting the Philistines. The battle had begun, still with no contender for the giant Goliath. David rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with a keeper and went to his brothers as his father Jesse had commanded him. As he approached the valley where the battle was, he could hear the voice of the commander yelling out commands to the army. Israel and the Philistines were now going head to head in battle. As soon as David saw his brothers, he left the bags in his carriage with the driver and ran straight to his brother and saluted them with respect. And as he talked with them, there came up the champion, the Philistine of God, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and challenged the army of Israel, and David heard him. All the men of Israel, when they saw the giant man, fled from him and were sorely afraid.
Have you seen the great Philistine come to the camp? He's trying to take us down, and I'm sure that the man who kills him, the king will shower him with gifts and riches, and even give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel.
And David spoke to the men that stood by him, saying,
What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and takes away the threat from Israel? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine anyway? Who does he think he is, coming against the armies of the living God?
That's why the man that kills this man will be exalted in Israel for sure.
And Eliab, David's older brother, heard David talking to the men. He became angry because he felt like David was doing too much.
David, why did you come out here? And who's at the house taking care of your sheep? Or are they wandering in the wilderness? You play too much, David, and have too much pride coming down here trying to get involved in this battle. I know you up to no good.
What have I done? I have done nothing wrong.
David was disappointed that his brother thought that he was trying to create trouble, because he really only wanted to help. You see, David was not afraid at all of the Philistine, and he knew there was a promise on his life from the Most High God. He had some of the greatest faith that most men will never understand. Well, let me give you a little backstory on David. The Most High God had become dissatisfied with Saul for his disobedience and decided that he wanted a new king. Even though Samuel was very sad about the Most High's decision, he was obedient to his request to anoint a new king. Samuel was told to find Jesse and anoint one of his sons. That was the Most High's choice. Samuel was a brave new strong prophet, but he was worried that if Saul found out about his task to anoint a new king, Saul would surely try to kill him. The Most High instructed Samuel to take a heifer with him and say,
I have come to sacrifice to the Lord.
And the Lord would show him which son was chosen to be king. Samuel walks onto Bethlehem. The elders of the town were afraid and asked if Samuel came in peace. His response was yes, that he was simply there to do a sacrifice with Jesse and his sons.
Shalom, Jesse, my friend. How are you? I have come this day to do a sacrifice unto the Lord. Please, you and your sons, join me.
And Samuel sanctified Jesse and his sons and called them to the sacrifice. When he saw Eliab, he said,
Certainly, this must be the Lord's anointed one.
But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on his appearance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. Because the Lord does not see as man sees, because man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord examines the heart. Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him come before Samuel, but the Lord rejected them both. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, but the Lord rejected him as well. Again Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel, and Samuel said unto Jesse, the Lord had not chosen these.
Jesse, are these all of the children that you have?
There's one more child that I have not shown you, but he is my youngest son, who tends to our sheep.
Jesse, send someone to go get him, because we will not sit down until he comes and is present first.
And he sent and brought him in. Now David was ruddy and had a beautiful face. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed David in front of his father and brothers. And the Spirit of the Most High came upon David from that day forward. See, kids, David had an anointing on him from the Most High. So he was no ordinary young man going to war with the Philistines. The Most High, God, had a plan for his life and knew what he was capable of. Now back to the story about Goliath. When the guards heard that David wanted to fight the Philistine, they quickly told the king, and Saul sent for him.
My king, let no man who is afraid go before this giant. I will go fight and defeat this Philistine.
David, hold on. Wait a minute. I know you mean well, son, and your heart may be in the right place. But you cannot go against this Philistine to fight with him. You are just a boy. This giant has been a warrior since his youth.
My king, I am your servant, who kept his father's sheep. And suddenly there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him and killed him, and retrieved my lamb out of his mouth. And when the beast rose up against me, I caught him by his beard and beat him and killed him dead. I killed both the lion and the bear, and this little uncircumcised Philistine shall be like one of the beasts that I took down. He has sealed his own fate by coming against the armies of the living God. My king, please understand that the same Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine.
David had convinced Saul that he could do it, and he wasn't going to hold him back any longer.
All right. Go ahead, David, and may the Most High God be with you.
And Saul armed David with his full royal armor, and he put a helmet of brass upon his head. David put Saul's sword upon his armor, and he started to go forth to fight. But he hadn't tried them out before. They did not work as well as he expected.
Saul, I cannot go with these, because I have never used them before. I have not practiced with these items of war.
And David quickly took them off, and he took his staff in his hand, and he chose 5 smooth stones out of the water, and put them in the shepherd's bag which he had. David grabbed his sling, and with confidence he approached the Philistine. And the Philistine started marching close towards David, along with the man that held the shield before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he was insulted by him, because David was just a young man, ruddy and beautiful.
Am I a dog that you came here to me with sticks? Who do you think you are, little man? Is this some type of joke? Come to me and I will tear you limb from limb and leave your flesh for the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field.
You come to me with a sword, a spear, and a shield? But I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have chosen to challenge. This day will the Lord deliver you into my hand, and I will beat you, and take thine head from you. And I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. And all who witness this today will know that the God of Israel is not saved with a sword, or spirit. For the battle is the Lord's, and he will, without a shred of a doubt, give you into our hands.
And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose and came near to meet David, that David jumped up quickly and ran straight toward the army to meet the Philistine, and with full courage and no fear. And David put his hand in his bag and pulled out a stone. David placed the stone in his sling and began to swing it round about his head very fast.
I'm tired of playing with you, little tiny Israelite boy, with your little Israelite toys. This has been funny, but I'm done now. It's time for you to die today.
And as the prideful Philistine boasted his words, David stayed focused on his mission. He continued to swing the sling until it had gathered great speed and suddenly slung it and struck the Philistine right in the forehead. He hit him so hard that the stone sunk into his forehead, killing him instantly, and Goliath fell to his death upon his face to the earth. All of the army of Israel jumped for joy, yelled and cheered because they couldn't believe David had really killed the giant and liberated the army from his oppression with only a sling and a rock. Therefore David ran and stood upon the body of the Philistine and took Goliath's own sword and drew it out of the sheath and cut off his head. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled in fear. All the men of Israel and of Judah arose and shouted and chased the Philistines. And the children of Israel returned from chasing after the Philistines, and they took their spoils of war. And David took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem, but he put his armor in his tent. And when Saul saw David go forth against the Philistine, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host,
Abner, whose son is this youth?
As thy soul liveth, O king, I cannot tell.
Inquire thou whose son the stripling is.
And as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Saul with the head of the Philistine in his hand.
Whose son are you, young man?
Daddy, he really just killed him with a sling and a rock? The Most High must have been with him. What else happened? What happened next?
Okay, kids, that's enough for tonight. The story will continue soon, and you're going to love it. Let's get some rest now.
Aww.
Okay, guys, good night.
Okay, love you. Good night, Daddy. Good night, Caleb. Good night, Patient and Elder Rawchaa. Good night, guys. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Go to keysupplements.com.
All right now. I'll kick back, watch that thing like I'm a big kid too. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm proud of those children, man. Hey, I tell you what, all the distractions don't mean nothing. So I thought I'd show that at the end to show, hey, you know, regardless of what they're doing in the world, regardless that Christ had rumors of wars and all this to happen, only thing we can do is work until we can't work anymore. Whatever the Most High put on our spirit to do with our families, guys, and everything is not going to be all on social media. Listen, it's some of the most powerful works that is unseen that we all do. The passive works, the works that we do in the body every day. You know, just because they're not on social media, let me tell you, these are the people that are going to have the greatest crowns. That's what it says in the vision of Paul. So with all of these distractions going around and all of this stuff, listen, as long as we're doing our best to prepare for the Most High, loving one another, you know, worshiping Him, serving Him and doing His feast, you know, doing the Sabbaths right, you know, trying our best to endure and get better every day, guess what? That's the only thing we can do in this crazy, wicked world and in our captivity right now. You see, guys, these demons are not gonna let up. but we have to fight spiritually, because as we see, fighting physically, like I said, fighting physically, it takes a lot of energy. We don't really have an army, and really, that's not how it's written to end. The Most High says, "Vengeance is mine," said the Lord. But what I know, He's going to come back. His Son is going to come back to see where we working, right? So let us continue to do and bring forth what the Most High has for us. It's not going to be easy. I tell you what, these kids, I watch these kids, and I'm like, hey, David was supposed to be put out probably a month or two ago, but things kept getting in the way. You understand? We had to even hit up the company and all that, and it's like, it was a lot of stuff. It's like, hold up, what? We've been putting out these cartoons, and it's like every time you try to do some works, it's going to be obstacles, but we have to overcome the obstacles, keep pushing forward. So we can't say what's coming out next, but the story of David will continue. So all of the parts of the story that you read in the scriptures, my children are going to do their best to bring forth this thing for your children, our people, our nation. And then hopefully one day, we get a big budget to do it with even higher animation, better quality. But these are babies making this. That's the powerful thing about it. Look how the Holy Spirit, I asked my daughter, I said, my 10-year-old, I said, do you know what you're doing when you're making these videos? She's like, I'm like, what? She said, I'm just making them. According to what I teach her, what she watches on the lessons and what she learns, and then we'll read the story, she's just coming up with this stuff. My 10-year-old. So and that's how you can see the Holy Spirit working. And you talking about homeschooled. So it's not all about learning what Esau tells you is right. You see what I'm saying? If we had this when we were in school, I'm gonna tell you, we'd be a powerful people. Seeing our people, in their direct colors that they're supposed to be in the scriptures, correct colors that they're supposed to be in the scriptures and all that. I mean, we would have been more together and all that. So at least the next generation, hopefully, those that we can grab, hopefully we can grab them through our music, because music is powerful. Through our animations, through our movies we're going to be shooting soon, I'm sure, in the body. Let me tell you, we doing it, and we got to keep doing it. So we're going to see you all soon at the next Passover. Most High willing. Enjoy your feast that's coming up, the trumpets, the tabernacles, the Day of Atonement, the new season of fall. We love you all. Next time we're going to talk very soon. I will allow us to do a Q&A next time and ask some questions on a few things there. All right? But I got to prepare for my fall garden tomorrow. Man, it's been so hot that I have to wake up very early to get out there and come inside and work the rest, doing other things. But that heat, it's very crazy out there. For all of my brothers and sisters out there in Hawaii, we pray that the Most High blesses you guys and does what he needs to do, because this is a part of prophecy to bring back our people back to the Most High from those old gods that they worship out there. Okay, because the elite is not just out there just because. There's a lot of things out there in Hawaii that we don't know about. Why the elite want to be there with their rituals and all of that. But it's just false information, though, what I just said, so don't worry about it. So prepare your fall gardens. Find out what you need to plant for your family. Get your practice on. I am Elder Rawchaa from the Gathering of Christ Church. Make sure you listen and watch our Hebrew and Bible Academy on Sundays. Elder Rawchaa comes on Wednesday nights. Okay. Elder Rawchaa comes on Friday nights. Officer Hazak will be back soon, Most High willing. And we have the Sabbath lesson. Peace and blessings to you and your families. Shalom to all of my elders, deacons, officers, brothers, sisters, the elderly, the wise, and the foolish. We pray for you. Shalom.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that he used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Well, some of you guys are asking where to get the link. Let me just put it for you really quick because I was finna end that thing off. Let me just put it in there for you really quick. This is where you can watch the cartoon and subscribe for more. They'll be coming out with moral stories and a lot more soon, all right?